Yo, what is good, everybody? This is the Radar. I'm here with Travis T. Perfect, and we're gonna talk about all this Kobe slander that I've been hearing. It's not really Kobe slander, but it's just basically what
I
they.
mean, for whatever reason, like Kobe's been on their minds, and like more so than usual here.
Yeah, I know Dwayne Wade was talking about it, how Paul Gasol should have won MVP, but
No,
everyone who saw that series said they could have gave it to Paul Gasol by how he played, but bringing it up so many years later is kind of hating on Kobe, I guess. I've always said Paul Gasol should have won that Finals MVP,
I
but
mean Kobe led both teams in like with points, assists. He was second in rebounds overall. I mean, it's pretty tough to say that Paul Gasol deserved it just based on the production.
he definitely had production. He held their big man to the lowest numbers he ever had, and since that time in a playoff series, like
I was
he was
22.
dominating Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, we're gonna suck then.
He was dominating
He was
Kevin
just
Garnett.
like good defensively.
Who? KG?
Durant or KG.
KG was good. They made it to the finals. He was good. I mean,
The whole team was good. I mean, they were pretty great.
I would have definitely gave it to Paul Gasol, but Kobe has a big name. I would have gave the first Finals MVP that Paul Pierce had to Ray Allen, but it was Paul Pierce.
Yeah, I mean it's tough to say that. I mean, just it's the what if game because we could go down the list, right? Like the most productive players don't always get it,
Yeah,
or I mean, like the most impactful don't always get it, but it's whatever.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, anyway,
We like understood that Paul Pierce deserved that MVP, but Kobe played great that series. He wasn't like he didn't play well. It just the biggest impact was probably Paul Gasol, but Kobe did average almost 30 a game. So
you know. Oh, Rap guy, we are done with this debate. It's not really a debate. We're just recapping what we've heard. Really, I mean, but I mean, you said Dwayne Wade said that. I mean, he's a bitter little bitch too. I mean, just because he's getting called out for saying that, he was. That's why he recruited LeBron because Kobe was winning all this stuff, and then we have obviously all these other people. So I don't know if we got our takes off on the McGrady thing. Uh, what do you think about that though? And like,
um,
obviously, I didn't have a. But I'll get your take on it. What did you think?
well, of course, McGrady could have won a title with Shaq. I mean, most star guards would have won a title with Shaq. That's not saying much. I don't think they would have won three with Tracy McGrady. Definitely would not have won three. He's not on Kobe's level, and at that time, he didn't really want to. He wanted to be the star of a team. So I don't know how he would have fit with Shaquille O'Neal when he didn't want to play with Vince Carter. So
Yeah, I mean, McGrady wasn't even starting in 2000. Like, he was like about. He was like the third. He was just a six man, right? He was in the running for six man of the year.
he started the second half of the season.
Okay, so he started. Yeah, he started 34 games. He finished third in DP or six man of the year voting. But I mean, he was fine. He was good. I just don't think he was the defender Kobe was. But I'm not. I don't have a huge problem with. Here's the thing. Like, I don't think I have a huge problem with what he said because he was maybe the one guy, one or two guys in the league who could have filled Kobe's shoes and been that same guy almost. At that time, maybe for a couple years. But I'm just wondering, like, the whole thing is like the root of these comments, like the
Mhm.
mentality. Like, where's this coming from now? Like,
I
is
mean,
it all stemming from that stupid ring culture thing that LeChoke said?
LeBron. Well, I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but anyways,
That's
LeBron
exactly what
basically
it sounds
said
like.
that just because someone doesn't have a ring doesn't mean they were not a great player, and they're forcing players to say that they're not great unless they win a ring. Like James Harden is not as great a player as he is now because he never won a ring. That's basically what LeBron. I mean, I don't think LeBron was talking about himself at all because he's probably one of the greatest winners ever. So he couldn't be talking about himself. He's talking about the other players that
Mm-hmm.
they're even talking about. Um, Giannis has to leave the Bucks to win a ring. Doesn't make any sense. This is the narrative the media is constantly pushing. This stupid narrative that you have to win all these rings to actually be a great player. No,
Giannis already won a chip of the Bucks.
it doesn't make any sense.
I mean, Giannis already won one.
They're
I
pushing for him
mean,
to leave. They're trying to get him to leave. That's the simple as that.
yeah, I mean, they might. It really depends because I mean, if they're truly not about like the ring culture or whatever, then they never would have left, right? Like, I
I
mean,
mean, the
or they
media
never will
pushes
leave.
this.
Like, I think it's a rare breed that you don't actually care. Like, I don't think Jokic might not care. He might not go anywhere. Uh, we'll see what Giannis does. But I mean, it really just depends. I don't think that. Yeah, it's.
I
I think
mean,
LeBron meant what he said, but it's it's the whole thing is what my issue is with it is just like because they say these things to stir it up, and obviously Steve Nash never gives any pushback to anything he says, but there's I
what
don't
back?
I just don't see like he never questions him or anything. Like he could have said, "Hey, LeBron, are you just saying that because you don't have the most rings ever?" or something like that.
That
But
doesn't make any sense. Like no one's close to Bill Russell.
sure, but we all obviously he knows he's getting compared to Michael Jordan. Bill Russell is a straw man argument.
I mean, well, why are you talking about ratings when someone has more than both of them? They have more than both of them combined. Like,
Yeah,
the
but we
narrative
all
that
know that's
you
not how the
guys are trying
conversation
to
works,
push
though.
it does not make any damn sense. You're saying that LeBron said it because he doesn't have enough rings. Enough rings for who? For Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan doesn't have the most rings, so that doesn't make
Enough
any
rings for
sense.
anyone.
It doesn't.
The whole thing is there's we always like come to these conversations because there's like they say that there's a bunch of people or these people that we never hear or see that are saying that like what he said there's no you can't be great unless you have a ring. I've never heard anyone say that about these players. I've heard people
Never heard it say
rank.
about James Harden.
I've never heard someone say, you know what, James Harden doesn't have a ring, therefore he's not a good player. I've never heard anyone say that.
He's just a choke artist in the playoffs.
That's completely different.
How's that different? He's a
Because
choke artist. He doesn't have
if
a
they
ring.
can if they can point to different ways in the about playoffs that he's choked or whatever, then that matters. If you're ranking players, like let's say if you have a criteria that says, hey, you performed well in the playoffs, you were the lead guy for Finals MVP.
I mean,
I'm ranking you higher than maybe someone who didn't perform as well. That's completely different.
we hear Shaq talk about Barkley not having a ring all the time.
Sure, but what is he in the context of what? Is he trying to say that he's not a good player, or is he saying my career was better than
You are
yours
not
because I have
on
a
the
ring?
level of someone who could win a title, even though he's better than a lot of players who won a title.
Sure, and I don't think Shaq ever said that he wasn't.
He just calls him a bum.
Sure, obviously we know that Charles Barkley isn't a
He's a bum.
bum.
Well, that's
I
how the
mean,
media goes around discussing people.
is it
Like,
urgent though?
has T Mac ever been known as a great player? He was
Sure.
known as a good player. He's not known as great as he was.
I mean, he had a pretty short prime, dude, but he was great for a few years. He was great from like what 2001 to six. I mean, if we be real,
I mean, T Mac had a good 10-year stretch that he was great.
10 years.
A good 10-year stretch that he was good in the league.
You guys said Johnny said he was trash in Houston.
I don't know. I don't write down whatever Johnny says. I'm sorry.
Well, obviously we know that was ridiculous. Like
Uh,
he just got ran through by Kobe in those years, so that's why he wasn't great. But
well,
uh,
spending half the time in the East too. But
Houston, yeah. I mean,
it was just it was like 3 years in Houston, 4 years at the most. But T
well,
Mac
I mean,
was
I've
really
always said T
good
Max
at
was a fantastic player. I mean, he was great at what he did. He completely. I mean, he didn't have the longest prime. Obviously, he's not going to be compared to the greats just because his resume doesn't stack up. That's what it is at the end of the day. Is your resume.
I
You
mean,
know
they don't even care about people's resumes half the time.
who's they?
The media.
The media. I mean, I need certain examples of this though.
Certain examples of what?
Like, I would like to see maybe like us do a show where we take examples of just to back it up once in a while, where if like all these people are getting slandered, right? Like
I mean,
someone
if you
says,
listen to Rob Parker and Skip Bayless and all the loud voices in the media, you're going to easily hear it. We see those comments thousands of times a day.
saying what?
Like
Like these
just
people, they aren't good players.
they're trash. They couldn't win a title. I mean, like somebody like Karl Malone, he doesn't get any credit for how great of a player he was.
From who? I've heard lots of people give him credit.
We rarely hear anybody giving Karl Malone credit.
I mean, that's completely false, man. He gets credit all the time. I
I
mean,
don't know about you.
consistently. Anyone I talk to says he's consistently probably the second best power forward of all time, second or third at worst.
What makes him the second best, not the first best?
The first best is or obviously it's the.
It's the rings.
I would say it's the rings. Yeah, I mean, if you're taking your team, if you're improving if you're elevating your thing in the playoffs, right? Or if you're elevating your play in the playoffs, which is what Tim Duncan consistently did,
Which
then it matters.
not
Finals
even power
MVP,
forward for one
Finals
thing.
MVP, stuff like that matters.
I mean, Tim Duncan is not even power forward. I hate that argument that he's a power forward.
I mean, that's what he's listed as.
He's not listed. He listed as a center more times than a power forward.
Well, whatever. I mean, no.
I mean, he played like a center. He's a center.
He's not. I mean,
He's
let's say he's a power forward. He's going out of history as a power forward.
What's the difference? What's the difference when LeBron said it and when Jordan said it? It's the exact same thing.
Because
what?
What?
Literally, LeBron made the same statement Jordan made. Literally made the same statement. What? I just want to know what's the difference in them making it.
What were you saying that there's
the ring culture thing?
Now, I'm not. I mean, listen, I'm not saying that I disagree with LeBron as far as.
Yes, you do disagree with LeBron.
No, I don't disagree with him because he just.
Like all these people are trying to turn around on LeBron, like LeBron doesn't have rings. That's the thing that doesn't make any sense. LeBron trying to get credit to other players and they're trying to turn around LeBron.
I'm saying that I think it's overblown because I don't hear people going around, and you say you hear it thousands of times. I don't hear people coming around saying that certain players who don't have rings aren't still great players. I just don't see these players being. I just think it's like called ring culture if these certain players aren't elevated to places they don't belong. Right? I mean, look at everyone's top 10. There's no one in anyone's top 10 who doesn't have multiple rings.
The ring culture started in 2010, for one thing. Everyone else was allowed to play basketball, except in the last, 15 years.
Okay.
That's what LeBron is talking about.
I believe it started in 92, but I get your 2010 point.
Yeah, it all started
2010 point, but I think it started in 92.
Why you think it started in 92?
Because after the 92 season, when the 93 season started, who was the greatest player? Who was the greatest player ever?
Kareem.
I mean, everybody said it was Jordan.
Everybody said it was Jordan. But Jordan had 2 rings.
I mean, but that didn't start it because they just allow players to be great without having like a whole bunch of rings. They didn't need 11. That didn't start till later on when players the media start counting rings to be great.
The conversation was going to start from that point on anyway.
I don't know how.
He the greatest player ever with 2 rings.
It wasn't an issue though. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't an issue. So how can it start then if it wasn't an issue?
Because what made Jordan the best? With 2 rings.
It had nothing to do with rings though. That's what I'm saying. It had nothing to do with rings, and no one had that argument. Oh, Kareem's better, or Magic and Bird and Magic is better because they got more rings. I don't think that was the case.
So from now on, everybody the level was Jordan. So
Well, that's now. That's since.
no, that's why I say 92, since he the best. Now the talk is gonna be whatever Jordan's ends at, that's gonna be the conversation where you have to get to. That's why I always say 92, because Jordan was the best then. So now for the future, you're gonna have to do what Jordan did to be considered the best. Even though we don't know he's gonna get 6 at the time. We don't even know he's gonna get a third one. But everything is contingent on what Jordan does.
I think the consensus was 93 when he won his third.
Yes.
Consensus.
The consensus was 93 when he won his third. I mean, they was touting him as the greatest of all time in 93 when he retired.
I'd like to think that there were people who didn't think like that.
It
Like
was
when you,
stone. There was no pushback on that.
I don't know what you're talking about, Travis. I literally don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, there's just so much generalization. Dude. Like you're like, oh, everyone like it was generally accepted.
It
What?
was. It was.
So you were remembering that vividly in 92 when you were like 9 years old.
93. When they building statues, calling him the GOAT. Everyone's saying he's a GOAT, the greatest of all time, the greatest player to ever play basketball.
I guess that takes us to the question then. I guess the crux of the matter is how much, I guess, because obviously we all rank not just the ring total, but how impactful for you, what was your role, etc. How much do rings and conversely finals MVP, your role in championship, how much does that matter, John? As far as your ranking, personally.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Oh no. So I was saying. So that brings us to the question. I mean, I guess all that being said, how much do your rings? Obviously, as the main guy, right? How much do rings matter? Like when you're ranking, because obviously none of us have a ringless guy top 10, right? Maybe even not top 20. But who do you? I mean, how much do they matter for you, and how much should they matter?
I mean, that's a hard conversation to have because, I mean, if you have multiple rings, you're usually in the top 10, top 15. Like, is there a guy in the top 15 who do not have multiple rings?
I'm trying not my top 15.
You know, I think my top 15.
I mean, I think I have Karl Malone top 15.
Yeah, I don't have him top 15. But I think everyone I have in the top 15 is, have multiple rings. So I think it matters. Somebody said Moses.
Moses has multiple rings. Or Moses has at least one.
Moses has one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess some people do put Moses in the top 15. But for
three MVPs.
Yeah, for me, I use their whole career, so I don't just use one ring. That's why I don't have Dirk above Karl Malone, but most people do.
You say most people have Dirk above Malone?
Mm-hmm.
Most people? I disagree with that.
I believe most people do. If you look at any ranking, they have Dirk above Karl Malone.
I disagree with that. I'm pretty sure I could find rankings that don't have him there.
I want to hear those rankings who don't.
Plus, it doesn't it really only matters because all we do is sit here and debunk stuff, right? Like every show, and we don't really care what these bad narratives say typically, right? So I mean, that's one thing I do agree. Like when I first heard that take by LeBron, I was like kind of mulling around my head, and it wasn't egregious. My only pushback was that I just don't think it's as severe as what he's saying or making it out to be as these people are just getting,
definitely not as severe as he was saying.
Yeah, I don't think these people are just getting slandered every single day and compared to bums or whatever, at least that hasn't been my experience, right?
I think what LeBron should have said is that the current players are forced to win rings to stay relevant as great players. Really, that's why all these players are moving because they haven't won a ring. Reggie Miller never had to leave, even though he didn't win a ring. It's a lot of players who didn't have to leave to win rings, and if they didn't win one, their career was still great.
Yeah.
I mean, they're literally trying to say Giannis should leave so he can win another ring.
I mean, if he leaves, I just want it to be for the right reasons. Like, if he really wants to win a ring, I really don't care. Like, that's why I don't knock LeBron for moving. I don't knock other people for KD for trying to move and do it. I mean, I don't use that to rank them or dock them. It is what it is. You still have to produce at the end of the day. And all the
Has
people that we rank have great help, right?
has Giannis underachieved?
No, not at all. Multiple MVPs. He has a DPOY. He has a Finals MVP, and he has what he's been in the for 10 years, 11 years.
Well, I just currently watched somebody. I just watched the biggest sports media person in the world say he did.
Who's that? Stephen A.
Yes.
You said he underachieved. I didn't see
Yeah.
that take.
Yes, he said it. That's what started the whole conversation with the T-Mac conversation.
Yeah, he was pissed off at that.
So that's what started that. So I think what he said is actually worse than what LeBron said, because he's not just talking about mainstream media, because mainstream media isn't the only media now. Social media is a huge part of media, and social media is what tilts what mainstream media does.
Yeah, it's bigger than mainstream media, honestly.
So when we say it's not as bad on mainstream media. Are y'all paying attention to media on social media? How they kill some of these players out here who are great?
I mean, they're going around calling LeBron a bum all the time. So,
well, you obviously get these takes from clowns that are looking for just
but there's thousands of them. That's the issue.
Yeah, they're just looking for reactions. They don't actually believe these things.
Some of these people actually believe what they said.
No, yeah, they get very emotional about it.
Giannis has arguably been the second or first or second best player for like the last 7 years. Like, he's not underachieved.
He's underachieved by the amount of titles he won.
That's the argument, because he's not as a player he hasn't underachieved, but because he ain't got multiple titles, he's underachieved, and that's how the media is going to look at it. And you just got to think, just by Stephen A. saying it, there's going to be other people who start to say it and say, did he have a point? It's going to become a conversation. And then as that go along, yeah, Giannis was trash back in the day. You remember, he got one ring.
Yeah. I mean, this is by far the hardest era to win a ring in because of how much player movement there is. There is no freaking way you're going to see dynasties like we had before. And like dominating and winning a ring is significant. I'd say it's more significant now than ever. Because you have very static, fluid system where players are forcing their way out, leaving, not really interested in building their culture. And hey, they want to get paid whatever. It's you got to do what you got to do. But I'd still, given all those factors, I think it's much harder to win now than ever before.
Yeah.
I believe any player who fulfilled his contract can leave anywhere he want to go. When you fulfilled your contract, when you sign a contract and you fulfill it, you can go where you want to go. What's this meaning in loyalty to one team? When you sign a contract with that team, you fulfill that contract, do what you want to do after that.
Sure.
I just think the media is fueling players leaving too, because of this rings they have to chase all the time.
Well, I mean, I don't think all the movement has to do with ring chasing too. I mean, a lot of players just want to be in better areas, or if they had a great year, so they want to go where they're going to get paid more. And that's more power to them. But
you lose money by.
I mean, like who? Who's leaving just to live in a better place? Who's a star?
I would assume a lot of these free agents. You don't think that players move to different parts of the country just because conversations they've had with their family, benefits, stuff been offered? I mean, that's ridiculous.
Usually when you're a star, you're taken care of wherever you're at.
Yeah, that doesn't really affect like where you'd like to live, though. I mean, you've
but
never wanted to live somewhere else.
Which NBA players left because of a better living environment?
I'm not saying it's exclusively because of that, but you don't think like LeBron came to LA maybe to live on the West Coast as opposed to Cleveland.
I mean, LeBron would have been happy in Cleveland if they had the right management and the right owner. Like you said, he didn't never want to leave, but they're terrible. And if he had to choose somewhere, he's going to choose somewhere he wants to be. But LeBron
So
is
what if they're
he's the
terrible at what?
outlier of that. He's the outlier of that. But any other player, they're not leaving just because they want to live in a better living environment.
How do you know?
Like who then? Who left because of they didn't want to be at a certain city? Which NBA players? We could start. I know Kareem didn't want to be in the Bucks. He wanted to be
No,
in
I'm just
LA.
saying this is stuff that probably factors into decisions. I'm not saying they come out and publicly talk about this all the time. I'm saying this is probably something that actually goes into. Obviously, the price has to be right. Everything else, but
Hey, pick is great. How about Kawhi Leonard? You think he left Toronto to be in LA for better?
I mean, he didn't want to be there in the first place.
Yeah,
Got
fact.
traded there, so
Fact.
he didn't have a choice but to go there.
Yeah, so that's a fact.
yeah, I mean,
He was mad
if
at management.
LeBron,
At management, just like LeBron, it was a management thing with the Spurs. I think he was perfectly happy with the Spurs if the management was better.
management, how like you mean so he could win rings?
I mean, how they were saying that he was faking injuries and he disagreed with. I mean, Tony Parker was drilling him about certain things.
His injury, saying he
was faking. It's not that bad. I had the same injury and I could play.
Yeah.
If that never happened, he would have been a Spur to today.
Yeah, he would have been.
No, I mean I was talking about LeBron.
Oh,
you said the management, like he left Cleveland to LA
Everybody know that
because of bad management the second time around, right? You like if that's
like him the first time around, the second time around, he didn't want to be there. He wasn't there to win a title for them.
LeBron had every reason. LeBron had every reason not to ever go back to Cleveland, as long as Dan Gilbert was the owner.
Sure, but why did he leave again?
Dan Gilbert was the owner.
If it wasn't about rings, like you said, he doesn't care. Doesn't matter where you live. Not about money.
If he went to LA to only win rings, because they were in the lottery every year.
Yeah,
but he's LeBron James.
There's a lot of factors.
He's LeBron James. Like he's LeBron James. Like all these, like Kevin Durant, when he left the Thunder, it was for rings. He wanted to win a ring. He was never going to get his credit unless he won a ring.
At the end of the day, I think that there's the desire to win is in pretty much every alpha. I mean, it just really depends on what you're willing to do to get it, right? And how much that drive is. I don't think that's insane thing to say.
It's not, but I think the media pushes it hard, and players listen.
Danny Mac says LeBron's ring carry less value because he jumped around. Well, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, but I don't knock players.
Does Shaq ring mean less?
Yeah, does that Miami ring mean nothing?
That's different.
Does Lakers rings mean nothing?
Does Kareem rings mean less?
That's different.
Well, I've got a nice little take for all the sidekick narratives tomorrow. But
about who, Kobe?
Yeah, did you hear that thing? And I'll just touch on it right now. The thing that Gilbert said.
What'd he say?
And that same thing with T-Mac where he said nobody cares about if you were the quote unquote like sidekick. You get a silver medal, right? Nobody cares about those rings. Mm-hmm. They don't count. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he's saying that that's how it's looked at from the media, then whatever.
That's what he said, though.
But it's true, ain't it?
Well, I'm thinking that if he says that nobody cares about it.
He said y'all. He said y'all when he was talking to Stephen A.
Okay. So my thing is that I'm that mindset only applies down through history. The only person that we consider even remotely top 10, I think he's top 10. It only applies to Kobe Bryant.
Well, think about this, Travis. If the only reason that Kobe 5 rings is brought up is to put it up against LeBron, right? That's the
No.
only reason. That's the only reason is brought up. The only reason. And if Kobe only won those 2 championships in 2009 and 2010, where would Kobe be ranked at?
I'd have him in the same place because
He would probably rank higher. Trust me. Those 3 rings are like a stain on his career.
And he
well, I
felt
mean,
that way. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Kobe felt that way.
It's a stain on his career that he was second fiddle in a chat. Those rings don't even mean nothing to Kobe. I'm pretty sure.
that's wildly false. There's no way. Well, we
Gilbert
can't ask
Arenas
him.
even said it. Gilbert Arenas said it. He talked to him. He sat down with him. He said those 2 rings is up there. Those 3 are down there. Those don't mean anything to Kobe.
Which one is his favorite ring, Billy?
The next
I don't
one.
know if either the first one or the last one. One of the two.
He said the fifth one
The
was
first
his favorite.
one. I mean, not the first. I mean, the fourth one or the last one.
Do you think Kobe would actually regret winning championships? That's a ridiculous take.
No, I don't think.
Yes. I don't think he regretted, but it don't mean anything to him.
And that's
He's too
nonsense.
great of a player. It doesn't improve his career.
What?
If you take those 3 rings away, it doesn't move Kobe anywhere.
Yeah, it does.
Where? Who would you put above him if he only had 2 rings, 2 finals MVPs? Who would you put above him? That he's ahead of now.
Who would I put above him?
That's
said
ahead
it- you
of
said
him
it-
right now.
I said it didn't affect him. Well, I said okay. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
affecting
I'm just saying it wouldn't affect him at all if he didn't have those 3
No,
rings.
it affects him because he doesn't have. Let's say he gets to the finals and underperforms. Right. That's the reason they don't. He just doesn't win those rings for no reason. That means that he's not pulling his weight. Maybe they don't even get to the finals, right? Because of something that happens in the playoffs, either he's hurt or he underperforms in the Western Conference playoffs
Mhm.
or wherever, right? So that means he didn't just magically not have these rings.
He's just young. Because he was
Okay.
like,
He's just
Okay,
young.
okay, all right,
So
all right.
What's
Okay.
the context around that?
Oh, okay, Travis. Where do you have Kobe ranked in the top 10? Which number?
7,
Where do you have Hakeem ranked in the top 10?
5.
You should have known he was getting asked. I mean, he's consistent on Hakeem, so he's consistent on Hakeem. I mean, as long as I know,
Okay, all right.
he's consistent on Hakeem.
But Brandon, the whole thing is I don't just use the number of rings.
Of course not. Of course
The
not. That's why I
ranks
said it don't matter if he didn't have those 3 rings. It didn't matter because you still gonna have someone with less rings above him.
Well, there's a lot that goes into it, dude. Like you're not just using rings, like the ring
Well, what?
count, right?
Hakeem
You
doesn't
don't-
have a better career than Kobe. What you talking about?
So
How does he have a better career than Kobe?
Hakeem has a DPOY. He was much more impactful defensively. He was a better 2-way player. He destroys Kobe analytically. He did more with less. There's a lot of nuance that goes into the Hakeem's career. Obviously, Kobe has him in things like, amount of All NBA, All NBA defense, at least, and things like that. But Hakeem was the better player. And really his career is just a storybook of, you talk about being faithful to a franchise, even though you could have left and easily won more. That's Hakeem right there.
He played like 5 teams, didn't he? Anyways, but what the hell are you talking about? Kobe Bryant definitely had a better career. Kobe Bryant, don't he have like the most, like, no, he doesn't have the most, but he has the most for like a guard for like all NBA teams, and he has the most combined first team defensive all NBA first team. So Kobe was great for a long period of time, longer than Kareem. Like, those defensive players of the years don't really mean nothing. I mean, that's not gonna elevate Rudy Gobert anywhere. He has the most. He has double the defensive players years now.
That doesn't matter because he's missing everything else.
Yeah, and he's definitely not a better 2-way player than Kobe Bryant.
We've talked at length about how it's all of your, it's exactly what you've done in career. And like you have to rate players based upon their impact too, dude. Kobe had
Bryant had a better
very
impact. Kobe Bryant is a
Hakeem easily.
bona fide legend. Hakeem is forgettable. Kobe Bryant will never be forgotten.
Yeah, but not because of what he was doing on
No,
the
it's
court.
because of what Kobe Bryant did on the court. He would
No,
never
it's
be
not.
forgotten. Never will be forgotten. Hakeem
It's the style
Olajuwon.
of his game.
If Hakeem Olajuwon never played a game in the NBA, it wouldn't even matter because no one will really remember Hakeem Olajuwon. I'm sorry.
Ridiculous
He will
take.
not be remembered like Kobe Bryant. It's not even close.
Maybe not like him, but you're talking. You're not even considering like
Just saying, like,
what things actually matter. Hakeem
wait,
was the
what
much more
matter?
impactful. Hakeem was the much more impactful
How?
player on the court.
How? What?
Maybe
How is he more
how,
impactful? Yes,
dude?
explain
Look it
to me
up.
how he's more impactful than Kobe. No, I
Okay,
want you
look
to
up.
tell me
Look
because
up.
I can tell you why Kobe's more impactful than Hakeem if you
No,
want to
you
hear me.
can't. Hakeem
Yes, I
Olajuwon
can.
consistently helmed top 10, top 5 defenses, and like look at how the Rockets were trash before he arrived, especially defensively and offensively. Actually, he helmed just like kind of Tim Duncan did in the early 2000s up until 2011. He was consistently the engine that made that team even serviceably compatible and competitive. And when he retired or when he left that team, they were immediately garbage on that end of the court. And he was like a top 2 or 3 scorer in his prime, also consistently. Like he was wildly
He wasn't
efficient.
better than
He
Kobe
was,
Bryant. He wasn't that efficient.
I
He
mean,
shot under
as far as volume
50% as a
wise,
center. He shot under 50% as a center.
that's that's tailing end of his career in his prime when he was. So it's the same with Kobe. We don't argue. We don't use Kobe's like last 3 injury like years to say, hey, Kobe's a 35% shooter, right? No, that's ridiculous.
I mean, Hakeem was never
Hakeem
a high
Olajuwon,
efficient shooter though.
he was yeah, he was very efficient. Look
Let
at his
me
career.
go because I remember when I was. I mean, maybe I'm just thinking of his whole career. That's probably what it is.
And Danny Mac, you're completely missing the point. When you have a team and you cause basically single handedly that team to be not even necessarily the finals contenders every single year, because that's a stupid argument. Nobody's like that. I mean, unless you're the '60s Celtics, right? Hakeem Olajuwon was the reason that team won games. Okay, like go look at the numbers. Talk about somebody who like was winning with the least amount of talent, like a '94.
He shot out 50% most of his career.
Yeah,
I mean, like
insane.
that's like barely 50. There's like a lot of
And
50
Hakeem came into the league.
for a center.
Hakeem came into the league with.
I mean, that's less than LeBron James. Like that's not like a Shaquille O'Neal like high 50s. It's like low 50s. It's not like he was really efficient as a center though. You're acting like he was Dwight Howard, like shooting 56% or something. Like he was good. But
Yeah,
come
Hakeem
on
actually
now.
had a
He's
jumper on
nowhere
like
near Kobe
Dwight
Bryant.
Howard, dude. What are you talking about? Nowhere near Kobe Bryant. As far as what?
Impact on the game, talent wise, basketball player,
Impact
better
on the game.
basketball player,
What are you talking about?
dominating like for
define impact on
for
the
what?
game. Kobe Bryant
was all NBA for over
that's not
years.
impact on the game, dude.
That's definitely impact on the game.
No,
if you're all
that's
NBA,
you scoring. That's you scoring
you are
points.
an impactful player. All NBA is not just about scoring points. If that's the case, it would be the top 15 scorers would be all NBA. That's not true.
Okay, so Kobe Bryant scoring points.
If it was so easy for Kobe Bryant to be a 20-time all first team NBA and defensive player of the year, somebody else would have done it. If it was so easy.
Player of the year. So what are you talking about, man? Now you're going off the rails.
All NBA first team, all defensive first team. He did that combined 20 times. Nobody has done that before.
Okay, and there's no argument you can make that Kobe was in the same league of a defender as guys who didn't have that many first team All NBA selections.
Same leagues of who? Like no one's done that before. Kobe Bryant was all NBA.
I'm saying I don't care. I don't care how many first team.
He was very impactful. He was very.
I don't give a shit how many first team all defensive selections he has. He wasn't nearly defender guys like Duncan, David Robinson.
Could not guard players like Kobe Bryant could guard players.
Like guards?
He could not guard players like Kobe could guard players.
Kobe guarded guards.
Kobe guarded guards. Who could?
It doesn't matter.
Guard guards
for
your impact defensively, like Kobe Bryant. No,
the impact defensively matters.
Who can guard guards like Kobe Bryant did for over 10 years?
So you're asking the dumbest fucking questions, dude.
Because no one can but Kobe Bryant. That's why.
That's how impactful
Kobe
talking about simply guarding guards. It's about the impact you have.
Okay,
Who
big
cares?
men are different than guards. You
Kobe's
cannot look
wide.
Kobe
If
Bryant
anything,
in
Kobe's overrated
as a big
defensively.
man. You cannot
Kobe
loop
has a
Kobe
negative
Bryant
defensive box
in
plus minus for his career,
as
dude.
an interior defender.
I don't
No,
care.
Kobe Bryant was very impactful on the defensive end and on the offensive end.
It was a very impactful defensive end. Okay, sure.
He wasn't impactful on the defensive end now.
And no one's even. The whole thing is you go off the rails like this when I'm trying to say
I'm
that
going off the rails.
he's not the same impact as a defender that these guys were provably so. And that's the case. It's not a slander against Kobe Bryant.
Says who?
Says
Says who?
me.
Because NBA players and NBA coaches don't say this. The experts don't say this.
The numbers say it.
What numbers? What numbers?
The Lakers defensive blocks was minus, and defensive win shares all while Kobe was with Shaq. They got noticeably worse on defense. A lot of the games like where Kobe was actually missing, or better, I should say.
Shaq got worse on.
Like Kobe wasn't some guy who like tilted the defense in the Lakers' favor. Was he a good like on ball
What?
1-on-1 guy? Sure.
So,
But you're talking about the guys
telling
who.
me, okay, yeah. You're telling me that you know
Holy
more
shit, dude.
about NBA defenses than NBA head coaches. That's what you're telling me.
No, I'm telling you that there are
And you
guys you
expect
can
me
look
to
at.
believe that.
Hey, John, have my back on this. I'm telling him that there are guys you can provably say, look throughout history, and say these guys consistently, with minimal roster turnover, right? Just them, they consistently helmed exceptional defenses. Not a lot of them, right? But there are guys you can point to and say these guys lifted the floor defensively for the team, and by any numbers you want to use, and it was provable before they got there and after they left, the teams were dramatically worse. Kobe Bryant is not one of those.
Yeah, I mean that's a fact. I mean, Hakeem was better defensively, but I think Kobe made a great dent on the defensive end of the court. I mean, it's just I feel like for the eras they played in, the ball went to the basket, so of course Hakeem had a bigger effect on the game defensively.
And Lamar Jack, I disagree. I believe that it actually makes him better than Kobe because he was. I rate players mainly based on not just their overall resume, but the impact you can measure. That's why Bill Russell. It's a huge part of the reason why he would be the GOAT, or arguably he is the GOAT. Because
All
you
right.
talk about impact, people don't give a shit about his scoring, right? They care about his defense, the thing that literally elevated that team. I mean, do they even win one ring without him?
Who?
If he wasn't the best defender in history?
The Celtics?
Yeah.
Probably. But Travis, so if you're talking to, let me say, you're talking to 30 head coaches and they tell you that you have to pick one player that's the best two-way player as a guard, and they
As
would
a
tell
guard?
you, yeah, as a guard, because that's how all NBA and all defensive teams work. And they
Okay.
tell you
Not
that,
anymore.
okay, Travis, and they tell you that Kobe Bryant, they would pick Kobe Bryant for 10 years straight. Would you say that Kobe Bryant does not have an impact on the game defensively?
No one's saying he. This is a
That's what
strawman
you said.
argument.
Like
Dude.
he didn't have an impact like Hakeem. Like he had an impact. Yes, he had a huge impact.
If they say that, of course I'm taking.
They already did. They voted him first team all
Yeah, and
NBA and all
if someone
defensive
asks
team.
me
That's what
what
they
guard
did.
are you taking for a two-way presence on your team that you're going to start, of course I'm going to take either Hakeem or I'm going to take Kobe or Mike. Like that's a ridiculous question, but it's not
It's
even what I
not a
was
ridiculous
debating.
question.
Yeah, it is.
Not a ridiculous question.
I'm saying that Hakeem was a better floor lifter on that end of the on the defensive end. You're saying that Kobe Bryant was just as good in part, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure if back in the 80s and 90s and they say that you get to have one player, one center, and you need the best two-way player, I'm pretty sure Hakeem would not be picked for 10 years, for a 10-year stretch.
Why not? He was great for a 10-year stretch.
Because there was a lot of other players. You could pick David Robinson.
Who was a better two-way center in that time than Hakeem?
From when?
You said 10 years, so let's say
Just
he
in like the
started
90s,
his
like
prime in about 86 to let's say 96.
86 to 96. You wouldn't pick Hakeem every year. That's what I'm saying. But you would pick Kobe Bryant every year. You would pick Kobe Bryant every year for 10 years. You wouldn't
No,
pick
I would pick
Hakeem
Hakeem every single year.
I'm pretty sure a lot of players will pick Shaq within that time.
No, when was Shaq better two-way player from 92 to 96? Never.
Shaq was a better player, definitely, for a few of those years.
No, he wasn't.
David Robinson, they'll pick David Robinson for a couple of years.
So you're talking, even if that was the case, you're talking about when the actual two-way best centers of all time, most of them were congregated and stuffed into a small area. What guard do we ever talk about that was coalescing with Kobe or coinciding with Kobe's prime that could possibly challenge that? If anything, there were like Dwayne Wade, maybe, but that's about it. There weren't like a plethora of two-way guards back then that were just out of this world, phenomenal,
There
consistently
wasn't
putting
even
up
a guard that was on Kobe's level.
I mean, I agree. I mean, I think Wade had a couple of years there where you could argue.
They'll pick Kobe over Wade. They'll pick Kobe.
Yeah, I mean, I would take a Kobe over Wade too, but that's the point. It was, if
Allen.
anything, it was skinny at that position as far as a two-way, especially even Paul Pierce. Like, there was no. It's hard. You can't really say with a straight face that Hakeem losing 1 year to prime D-Rob or Shaq in '96 when he was at the tail end of his prime was a step back. Yeah,
I mean, Hakeem was good. He's just not on the level as Kobe. I don't understand why people have him in the top 10. You have him as top 5, which is kind of ridiculous. But
I do. I have all the best defenders of all time. I have the best two-way players of all time who have multiple rings in my top, generally my top 5. Kareem's the same way.
You don't have Kobe up there.
Well, like I said, we've done this before, and like Kobe isn't a top 5 player.
Hakeem Glaze.
I mean, he's higher than Hakeem.
You see a Johnny
Hakeem Glaze. I don't know why people disrespect Hakeem so much.
I mean, because he wasn't nowhere near a great player as people say. He had like a good 4 years, and people try to act like he had all these great years in the NBA. Yeah, he had a good 4 years.
Oh God, I've got it. Okay, that's what I'm doing next week. That's time for an exposure. Hakeem gets slept on.
I want to see all these great years Hakeem had besides 94 and 95. All these great years he had.
Okay, sure. I mean, you should do your homework and learn a little bit about the game.
I don't need to go do.
You really do, because you're just talking out of your ass right now.
I'm talking out of my ass. Hakeem did not.
Kobe with 2 rings is better than Hakeem. See, now you've even got Johnny drunk. And Johnny's usually full of these clownish takes.
I mean, Kobe is definitely better than Hakeem Olajuwon. I don't even think it's close. Actually, I don't even think it's close.
That's just such a bad
better
take.
Basketball player than Hakeem. I don't know what's bad.
Hakeem was arguably the best facilitator on his team, the best defender, the best scorer. He averaged like
2 assists a game. How's he the best facilitator on his team? Like if they're that bad and someone can average 2 assists a game, and he'll be the best facilitator. That says a lot about the competition in the 90s.
No. You got to go look, man.
Hakeem did not have more than 4 great years. I would say 2 great years, actually. Maybe 3 great years.
Hakeem was dominant from Hakeem was completely dominant from 88 on.
Maybe 3 great years. I mean, he was good. I'm not saying he wasn't a good player. I'm just saying he didn't have these great years.
If we're talking about just being more consistent as far as playing longer and having, I guess, more years that were, I guess, among the best in the league in your position, then sure, Kobe. But Hakeem Olajuwon is, I mean, if anything, he's widely underrated. And now you've got her, so it's okay if it's a team achievement, right? Then how can we talk about first round exits? That's not what we said about Tracy and McGrady, right? We're not allowed to talk about that.
I mean, they don't consider Tracy McGrady great. So why would we talk about that? We just said if he was. Did you
not hear all the clownish takes of like the last week where they said that people were saying no, McGrady couldn't even get out of the first round, but no, it was we can't say that because he quote unquote didn't have Shaq, the stupidest argument of all time. Guess what? A lot of rings have been won without Shaq. It's the dumbest take ever.
I think this Hakeem conversation can be a great. I think we should do a show on this show or Go James Kingdom. Does Hakeem belong in the top 10?
He doesn't.
Yes, please. I will
Right.
debate you on that, Brandon.
I believe we need to do a show. Does Hakeem belong in the top 10? Because
Please, let's do that.
Because I do believe a lot was said about Hakeem, and I don't think nobody's really broke down Hakeem's career like that.
I'm prepared to do that. 100% next week. Let's do it.
You have Kareem above Wilt.
I don't rank Wilt or Bill.
Okay.
They have their own ranking.
If you did, would you have Hakeem above Wilt if you did?
If I was to rank them, that would mean that they had access to all the awards that Hakeem had access to. So yes,
who would
100%.
You would rate Wilt? Would you rate Bill Russell above Hakeem?
According to my criteria that they would have, then yes, I would rank them above everyone.
Okay.
That means they would have the best resumes, bar none, of all time. Herm, I will debate the shit out of you too, dude. Like, don't let me smoke you. Like, yeah.
So, I mean, how do y'all feel about the T-Mac Kobe conversation?
I mean, it's not really a conversation. If he played with Shaq, of course he could have won some rings. Most players would have won it in that time period.
Most
players? That's a bad take.
Shaq was destroying players.
Because what I didn't dislike about the conversation, because when the conversation was about Kobe, we're looking at Kobe's whole career and saying T-Mac doesn't even belong in this conversation. Instead of talking about the time period, they're actually having a conversation about this is before Kobe had 5 rings. This is when Kobe was 1, 2, 3 rings, and that's the period of time that they was having a conversation about. And I just think the conversation was taken out. It's taken out of the way because I think T-Mac. I don't know if 3-peat. I mean, I don't know if it's a 3-peat. I do believe T-Mac can win a championship with Shaq in that time period, but I mean, 3-peat, I think that's unbelievable. I think that's historical. But does T-Mac and the conversation around T-Mac changes if he has a championship? Of course it does.
Well, Jenny Mac has a great point. Shaq wasn't just some champ. Like, even Shaq needed help, right? Like, there's a reason they didn't win in the 90s. And they didn't win until, obviously they had to form that team, right? And you had Phil Jackson. That's when Kobe started being, relatively transcendent. And, no one's won without help. I'm not saying that I don't necessarily have a huge problem with what T-Mac said because he was a great offensive talent during that time frame. He had every move in the book. He could produce. But, people forgetting that Kobe was, when it was money time, Kobe was that guy to a lot of, during those.
I don't know Kobe, like T-Mac couldn't do the same thing.
I'm not saying he couldn't, but, Kobe was doing that against the toughest competition, more so, especially in the Western Conference playoffs, than Shaq was, especially in 01 and 02 during those runs. Kobe was leading them in scoring and fourth quarter scoring during those during those Western Conference pushes. Shaq obviously was great then too, and he ate up in the finals. But it's to say that just anyone could have stepped in and did that. I think that T-Mac could have, but
I just feel like during that time when it gets to the fourth quarter, when you talk about those Lakers teams and you talk about the Orlando team, so you get to the fourth quarter, the team get to aim their defense to T-Mac. We got to stop T-Mac. They can put their best defender. They can cover their defense to T-Mac. Now, when you play it against the Lakers team, Kobe get to go one-on-one. He can be going against the best defense, but guess who the best defense trying to stop? Shaq. They trying to stop Kobe too, but it's two people aiming to stop Shaq. So when we had a conversation that Kobe was making big shots, there's no doubt. Kobe was doing his thing, but he got to play one-on-one where T-Mac was getting double and triple team, and it's just a different game for them too at the time. You put T-Mac and you allow him to go one-on-one, I can't say he ain't making those same big shots.
T-Mac had a lot of one-on-one space too. If you go back, I was watching some of the like that Game 7 in 2003 versus the Pistons, he was just bad. Like, he wasn't like he was getting doubled and tripled on the perimeter. Dude was getting to his shot spots. He was just going one-on-one. He was just abysmal as far as the percentage-wise. What did he shoot, like 38%, less than that? For that Game 7, disappeared. I mean, after they blew a 3-1 lead.
I mean, it'd be a lot easier if he had Shaq. That's what he's saying.
Okay. I mean,
That's
sure.
he could have won.
It'd be a lot easier to because.
That's all he's saying. He's not saying that he's better than Kobe. He's saying.
Well, here's the thing. The reason why I wasn't super mad about his comments was because he's maybe the only guy I could have, and especially in.
He is the only guy.
Yeah. He's maybe like the only, especially those 3 years that you could say interchange him with Kobe and they get similar results.
Vince in there, and Vince will win a title with Shaq easily.
Vince?
Yeah, if you put Vince in there, he'll win.
What?
Vince Carter.
No.
Yes. How? Why? Well, why the hell not?
Because Vince was a screen door defensively, and he didn't nearly have the bag that Kobe or T-Mac did.
The bag? What you talking about? The bag?
He wasn't a great jump shooter.
Vince Carter was a really good jump shooter. You didn't even watch Vince Carter play.
He was. Dude, you think he was as good as T-Mac and no?
He could have won a title with the Lakers easily.
Okay.
Vince Carter was that good.
Mm-hmm.
Vince Carter was the best player on the 2000 USA team for a reason.
Oh my God.
Vince Carter was that good.
Mm-hmm.
In 2000, Vince Carter was better than Kobe in 2000. What are you talking about?
I just think you're glazing Vince Carter.
I don't know how you glaze.
He's a 3-point shooter.
Vince Carter was better than Kobe Bryant and Tracy McGrady in 2000.
Hey, Herm, I would never argue with anything about Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway, my favorite player. So pity that dude, man. Hey, he from your hometown as well.
Penny. If Penny had 2000 Shaq, he would have won a title as well.
Why did it be 2000 Shaq?
Because that was the best. 2000 to 2002 was the best version of Shaq. What? Ridiculous stuff.
I mean, he had him for what, 4 years?
Who?
Did he even have him 4 years?
I mean, he played with Shaq for 3 years when he was like 22 to 24. Come on now. He was young. Both of them was young.
Yeah, they both.
And they was in the finals, so bad coaching. They lost that series.
Yeah,
I just think it's fun to play the what if game, but you don't know like what the players' mindsets are going to be, things like that. I mean, would T-Mac have folded when the lights? Against some of those teams.
Why would he fold? He was a great scorer.
I think T-Mac was soft as baby shit, dude.
I mean, how the hell is T-Mac soft? What
fuck T-Mac actually?
Shit you ever seen him do?
I mean, anyone who gets up there and says, I mean, where do you have to be mentally to say, just in that? I mean, another important question, John. I want your take on this. To get up there, is that like lack of class, or I mean, would you ever get up there and say, hey, you know what, I can do the exact same thing because he feels like he's being disrespected?
I wouldn't say that. I just wouldn't say it. I'm not saying I wouldn't feel it, but I just wouldn't say it.
Say what? Say what? I don't know what y'all talking about.
When they was on First Take about could I have done that what Kobe did? I wouldn't have said it, but I understood as him thinking that. I understood it to the T, but I just wouldn't have said it.
I mean, I didn't have any issue with what he said because
no, that's what I said. I understood it.
He's just saying that if he would have won a title, that doesn't mean that he wasn't a great player. If he would have played with Shaq and won the title, that doesn't change how great he was. That's all he was saying.
No, I got that. No, I would just say, no. My point was, I wouldn't have said, hey, if I was with the Lakers, I would have did what Kobe did. I would have won the championship. I wouldn't have said it, but I would have thought the same thing. But I think T-Mac was one of the greatest guards in history. So even though he's listed as a small,
I mean, I pick him all the time in 2K.
The reason he said it was because it's easy to say I'm
Shit.
going to win a championship with
Was Johnny in the
Shaq.
bathroom?
Yeah, trust me, I know. Trust me, I know.
That's it. Hold on, wait. Let me fix my.
Yeah, yo.
Johnny's in the bathroom. Dude, why you in here taking a
No,
dump?
I'm not in the bathroom. No,
That's
I'm
You
not in
taking
the
a
bathroom.
dump, dude.
All right, here we go.
Taking a dump.
Listen.
He just walked out.
The
He just
reason
walked out.
the reason he said this is because it is easy to say I'm going to win championships with Shaquille O'Neal in the early 2000s. Just like Brandon said, they can win it with Vince Carter. The Shaq slander is getting out of hand.
Shaq slander.
Yes, the Shaq slander is getting out of hand.
Who's slandering Shaq?
Shaq is winning 3 championships without Kobe. That's slander. To say that he could only win it with Kobe, that is slander on Shaq's name. That's facts. Another thing, you guys keep saying that we should stop talking about what ifs, hypotheticals. If that's the case, then no one mentioned expectations and how a player didn't meet expectations, which is also a hypothetical and what ifs.
Who the hell said expectations?
That's but that's what y'all do. Y'all always talk about expectations. Y'all always bring up you brought it up. You said it's a part of your criteria.
What? No, I didn't.
You said your role, the expectations. You said all of it. Travis, I heard everything you said, and I'm not going to argue.
When did I say expectations?
I can come up here. No, I don't want to argue with you, but I'm not going to argue with you about that. All this is recorded.
Wise.
Expectations is similar to hypotheticals and what ifs. It's the same nonsense. It's predicated on you predicting something that does not exist or talking about something that doesn't exist. So if we can't talk about hypotheticals and what ifs, we can't talk about players' supposed expectations when you were talking Giannis. You remember that?
I didn't say
45. Okay,
that's bullshit because I didn't say. I said I was the one defending Giannis, you clown.
No. But you said that. No, but you said that. Come on, Travis. I didn't come here to be called a clown. I came on here to just give my 3 takes and get up out of here. Okay.
Well, don't say that I was saying shit that I wasn't saying.
You did say you have expected. Travis, I've been listening to you talk for over 2 years.
No, they literally asked me, did Giannis, somebody said, literally verbatim, did he achieve his expectations? I'm like, he overachieved. If anything, there's no way you could say he underachieved. And I went on to say, because winning a title is hard. I said his resume is amazing. I didn't say that my criteria is expectations.
Whether it's overachieving that you call it or underachieving you call it, it's still providing an expectation. You can't say that. There's no such thing as overachieving or underachieving. There's no such thing as expectations. There's no such thing as hypotheticals. We have to go for what is what was. That's what y'all said.
Yeah, and I don't say that that's why I said I don't knock Giannis for whatever his thing is. I go by his resume. I don't say they're ranked players with expectations.
All I say is that if we cannot do hypotheticals, then we can't do expectations. That's all I said. I didn't aim that at you. I just said that you're the one who felt hurt because the hurt dogs cry. So keep crying like you've been crying this whole show about Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, last thing I'm going to say, yes, is better than Hakeem Olajuwon with just 2 championship rings. In fact, Hakeem Olajuwon is the epitome of ring culture. He has so much failures under his resume, but because he won 2 championships, people forget about it. It's just like Tracy. If Tracy would have just won 2 championships, everyone would forget all of his failures.
That's failures because of expectations, right?
You can unmute yourself, Brandon. You can unmute yourself. Brandon, you're muted.
Who the hell muted me anyway? Johnny, how many great seasons do you think Hakeem Olajuwon had?
In the sense of Zesty Jeffrey logic or my logic?
Your logic. How many great seasons? Not good seasons, but great seasons.
I would say he had about a good 4 or 5 of them. He had some seasons where he averaged 25 and 12 for his career. That was good. Between like 92 and like 97, 96, 97, that span. Yeah, Hakeem Olajuwon was great.
He was great in the 80s too.
But he lost in the first round the majority of those seasons as well. No, again, like I said, but if we're talking Zesty Jeffrey logic, that should count because the 2 rings should not absolve all those failures. And Tracy McGrady having 2 rings shouldn't absolve all his failures.
The team only had 1 season that he had at least 12 rebounds and 25 points.
We're not talking logic. We're talking.
It said 25 and 12. So let me see. I got between.
He only had one of those seasons.
Yeah, 93. Yeah. Hold on. We're talking about 90. He had it 93. He averaged 11.9, 10.8, and 10.9. But he had all those seasons he averaged over 25. So that's like a 4-year span.
Okay, Okay, I'm saying.
Well, Brandon, supposedly we're debating this next week, so
Yeah, I said
save it.
4. I said he had about
That's
4.
what I said 4 or 5. That's what I said. I said
Yeah,
4 or 5.
I say he had like 4 great seasons. That's about all he had.
Johnny, I said we should have a conversation. Do Hakeem belong in the top 10?
All right. Well, y'all make it. Y'all,
Yeah.
y'all make a choice for
Yeah,
tomorrow's show.
he had 4 great seasons
No,
compared
no.
to Kobe
The
Bryant 10
conversation we're gonna
plus.
have tomorrow. Let's have that conversation tomorrow. This whole the Kobe disrespect, the T Mac, the conversation is going on. I think we should have that conversation. But maybe next week, I think we should have a conversation. Do Hakeem belong in the top 10?
Yeah, I'll be ready for that.
Oh yeah,
We
he
Like,
definitely
we
don't belong in
talking
the top 10.
we talking T Mac
Definitely don't belong
tomorrow.
in the top
That's
10.
what we do. We talking T
No,
Mac.
no. I mean, we're done talking about T Mac. We talk about T Mac for the last all week long. Like T Mac, he was good. If you put him in for the Lakers, he would have won a title. That's all he's saying. Simple as that. He's not better than Kobe Bryant.
I mean,
So, well, anyways, I just wanted to say those 3 things from what I heard in today's show. Great show so far. I'll be back in the comments where I'm safe and avoid Travis's wrath.
hey, watch her. Watch her.
Jesus Christ, man.
But no, I mean, it's all about it's all where you drafted it and what's going on, what the team's trying to do. I
Like,
think that was the best conversation.
Like I wouldn't even put Hakeem over Jokic right now. And Jokic only got 1 ring.
I definitely put him over Jokic.
I would not put him over Jokic at all.
All right, well, hey, man, you better come prepared. As we can do that debate style if you want. I think that'd be great.
You want to do it Friday? I mean, next show
Yeah.
on the radar.
Sure, we'll have
All right, because
we'll have Judge John.
You're gonna need like 3 weeks because you're gonna need like 3 weeks to actually get some shit to actually say.
I wouldn't need
in the
3
top
hours
10.
for you, dude.
So what would be
I
the
said
debate?
3 weeks.
What would be the debate?
The debate
He's gonna
is
make a debate that he's top 10. I'm gonna make a debate that he's not top 10.
okay. Easy, light work.
This is light work. I could have that debate right now. It's not even close. There's definitely 10 players better than Hakeem Olajuwon. Better careers as well.
Okay. Well, you'll have a chance to prove it, and I am very confident.
You're not that confident, Travis. Every time you have a debate,
Extremely
you lose.
confident.
Every time you have a debate, you lose though.
That's false.
What debate have you won?
I've won all of them.
Hey, he obliterated King Rowe.
No, there. I made King Rowe my bitch. I think I beat LeBron, but I mean that wasn't really a debate. That's just me trying to poke holes in his logic. He was just sitting back saying no, no, no. He didn't really present any facts.
For who?
When
LeBron?
I was going after, I mean, I was just trying to go after his criteria. He wasn't really.
Okay.
He was afraid in my original premise when I
He's
said I'm
afraid of
debating
you,
Kobe.
okay.
I called him out and said I want Kobe to top 10. I can prove that he is, regardless of criteria. And he's like, "Oh no, I don't want that debate."
Hey, Travis, and I meant every word I said. I used to have Kobe at 11. Your debate moved Kobe up in my
You said
list.
Kobe at 11.
Yes, sir.
I promise you. I didn't look at certain things the way I should have looked at Kobe's career. I didn't. And
John, who's your top 10 there? Well, before, since you moved Kobe to when he was 11, who's your top 10?
First, I'm gonna tell you why I had Kobe
Okay.
at 11. Because
Okay.
I thought Kobe was so great that because I had a top 10 and I thought Kobe was so great that it was gonna be impossible for anybody to ever enter the top 10 because Kobe was at 11, and I didn't think it was gonna be anybody else who's gonna be at Kobe level. I felt like my top 10 was like stuck for years because could nobody enter because who's gonna enter over Kobe? And when I listened to Travis' conversation, when I heard everything he said, I had a bad top 10. I already messed up my top 10 because I felt like I had Larry Bird too high. So Larry Bird was dropping already from my top 10 because I was doing homework on Larry Bird.
Facts.
And then what helped it was Travis' conversation. The way Travis broke it down, I listened and I did homework after that, but I listened. Kobe entered he's number 7. It may go higher if I'm looking at Magic Johnson right now.
So he went to 11 or 7.
Yes,
Jeez.
I'm looking at Magic Johnson right now. So Magic, your career is under the microscope right now.
I have him over Magic Johnson too,
We put
and Larry
players under
Bird.
the microscope so much that we need to put some of these.
80s. I mean, what guard do you have above Kobe right now, John?
What guard?
Yeah,
just Jordan.
Okay, Travis. What about you? What guard do you have above Kobe besides Jordan?
Tracy, McGrady, and John Stockton.
So you don't have a guard above him.
No,
why do you think
Mike.
people have Magic above him? I know, but why do you think people have Magic Johnson?
Because Magic is known to be the greatest point guard ever. That's the conversation that puts Magic above Kobe.
Yeah, exactly. That and like he has
just because that
he has more MVPs, but also they don't look closely. They don't look to see that. And like even those are the same people who call Kobe a sidekick and they dock him for that, but they don't realize that Magic was the ultimate sidekick for basically the first 5 years of his career.
That's what I was just about to say. Kobe is slandered for playing with Shaq. Magic isn't slandered for the Kareem.
Yeah, and one of the things, one of his Finals MVPs is Kareem's anyway.
It's actually Kareem's.
Yeah, so he should have 2 Finals MVPs. So
yeah, he lost one to James Worthy too.
So
exactly.
So no, I have no guard in front of. That's why I just said Magic is under the microscope right now, and for me, I think Kobe is the second greatest guard ever. Period.
I agree completely. And like the thing with Magic and like Bird was at least from the jump the best player on his team. Mm-hmm. And like he was there, he was expected to be their best scorer. He was their best.
What year wasn't he the best player on the team? You think was it just his last year, or he probably was the best player on the team then?
I mean, even his last year when he was crippled. I mean, you could argue that maybe it was like McHale, but like all throughout his career, Larry was that guy in every asset. Magic was only asked to really pass for like the first. It wasn't until like 86, 87, and like Pat Riley was like, okay, Kareem's fading. We need you to be the dude, you and Worthy, whatever. Cool. But Worthy, there's no, I mean, I had this debate with Dart the other day. I think it was a great debate, but Bird was that dude from the jump in every aspect. He was arguably one of their best rebounders, best scorer, best passer. There was no way you can say that Magic Johnson was the better player, especially all around. And I mean, that's.
I have a question, Travis. In the 80s, do you put Bird above Magic or Magic above Bird?
I put Larry above Magic in the 80s just because of, I mean, if you look at the resume, they're very similar, but I think Bird was just a better all-around player. He was more important to his team.
You don't think Larry Bird dropped more in the playoffs than Magic did? More.
He was kind of consistent, wasn't he?
I mean, he was a little worse in the playoffs. There were some years where he wasn't that good. Like I think in 82 or whatever, 81, like he wasn't that good. But I mean, he had great years, but also he was. I mean, Magic Johnson. Like if you look at their play, yeah.
Trust me, some of these guys, and I think we need to nitpick like we nitpick today's players. We need to nitpick and. We had Magic and Larry up there so high for so long.
It was mainly just nostalgia, dude. Like when you look at that, I mean, and deservedly so, they're great players, but I mean, I can entertain a list that says Magic Johnson is like second or third all time, or even top 5, just because. I mean, like I'm sure you know because you're researching them, and like when you're ranking players, there's a lot of nuance that goes in there. And this is one thing I do owe to a Johnny here. Just to clarify, with the expectations, you're right. I mean, you can't rank players. I don't think that I do this, but I don't think it's fair to say, oh, I have this expectation of a player, because you never know what's going to happen to them, what their team's going to be like from year to year, and you have to just kind of sit back and say, kind of, take it as it goes, as their career comes to you, and be like, okay, what's the big picture look like, and then you can judge, right? Adrian Knight wants to know John's top 10.
Why you want to know my top 10?
I don't know.
Just tell me why.
He says, King John, what is your top 10?
I give you my top 10 tomorrow on Go James Kingdom.
I was looking. Bird averaged 24.7 and 10 in the 80s in the playoffs, and 25 and 10 in the regular
Yeah,
season.
like I said, he was right there. He wasn't.
He's kind of
Yeah,
consistent.
it wasn't like he was some
That's
huge
why I
dropper.
said did he go. That's why I said did he go down a little
No,
bit.
he's like
It wasn't like he was Wilt Chamberlain levels of like dropping in the
really
playoffs, right?
consistent. Yeah, and plus he was he made some all defensive teams too. I always put Bird above Magic in the 80s, but I guess people put Magic above Bird
Because of the five.
because of the 5 titles. That's the only I could think of.
I mean, that's the only thing they think of. I mean, you're right. That's really the only reason to do it, to put him above him, right? And because maybe a slightly longer career, but that's not really Bird's fault. Right?
About the same years,
Yeah.
almost.
It was like
13,
what?
12.
Yeah, I mean, their primes I don't think was close. I think Magic or Bird was better. I mean, Magic's MVP, he was not better than several other players in the league when he won his MVPs, except for like maybe 87. But you know, it's really tough. But yeah, I'm gonna touch upon the psychic narrative because all of us know it. You know, like nobody wins without help. Nobody. To some degree. I mean, have players. I can agree with you with a lot of people that say that there are players who have had more help than others. I don't think that's a zesty take. But and no, Johnny, I get it, man. Like I agree with that. I'm not saying I don't think I've ever done that. And like I don't think I've ever had expectations for players to begin with. I mean, I think it's one thing to say, oh, I expect the Lakers to be good this year or something. I don't think that's a ridiculous. Or I expect Luka to be a top 10 MVP consideration this year. Is that like a wild statement? I don't think that's like unreasonable. But I mean, if I said, hey, if this guy doesn't win a ring this year, then I'm taking him off my list. I think that's an unreasonable expectation.
I mean, it's like Steph Curry didn't get his credit until he got a Finals MVP. So they do hold certain things above players, even though he already won 3 rings prior. Wow. Even Steph Curry said he got the monkey off his back because he got his Finals MVP. So they all listen to the media. The media is loud. Social media is loud.
I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Adrian, I just said I would get my top 10 on Go James Kingdom tomorrow. That's it. My thing isn't emotional, bro. I love basketball, bro. So that's it. I want to be accurate. So I got my list upstairs. I don't want to feel like going to get it right now. That's it. That's why I say I give it on Go James Kingdom tomorrow. That's it. I might start off the show with my top 10 list. Yeah, we can start our show off from there. But that's it. No big deal. I mean, I don't get emotional when we talk basketball. I don't name call. I don't get personal. I talk basketball and I leave it alone.
Man. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think that we're above all of the.
That's why when you hear people debate on here, like B Lee and T Perfect were just back, I sit back and I watch and I listen because I might find out something I didn't know. I don't jump in. I don't do any of that. I sit back and listen.
Man, now I'm stoked for John to give us his opinion next week. Man, I can't wait for that.
I mean, I want to hear the King conversation. I think it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be an easy win. It's gonna be an easy win.
Yeah, okay. I like it.
Let me tell you why it's gonna be great. Because I have Hakeem at 10.
Oh yeah, you got to move him down. You got to move him down. You got to move him down.
Anyone who doesn't have Hakeem in the top 10.
So just remember, I told you I used to have Kobe at 11.
Yep.
John, who's a greater player, Wilt or Hakeem?
Well,
Russell or Hakeem?
ooh, I'm a Russell.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a bad take. It's so hard for me to rank those players.
I mean, it
I
should be
mean,
easy to rank them. Just because you can't give them defensive player of the years and
Or a
finals
lot of the
MVPs don't mean you
stats.
can't rank them. I
I
mean,
just think I just believe we should have their if we had their stat.
yeah.
If we had all them triple doubles, they definitely had.
I mean,
I
that
just
doesn't take away from what they did in the game. I don't
Well, we don't know what
hold
they did
that
in the game
against
a
them
lot of the
enough.
time.
yeah,
Like,
see,
that's
I
the
just
thing.
know how great they were in their era.
yeah, because it's like what if that stat line was 25, 25, 14, and 9.
I mean, it's fine, man, but you can't take away how great they were in the 60s.
No. I
And you just
never
can't
take it
take that
away.
away. That's what
I
Travis
never
trying to take it away because
No, I'm not trying to take it
you
away.
can't add in their steals and blocks. You don't have to. They were great.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
like
you're literally judging. So it's not fair to Bill though, because let's say,
how's it not fair to him?
or I
Because he
should
was
say, it's
great.
not fair if you put Bill, let's say, because he could be on your top 10. But what are you using to put him above certain players, right? Because we don't have a lot of the same things that we use to
Don't need
like
those things.
compare him to Kobe Bryant, right? Kobe Bryant is directly on our top 10, right? Because of you, like you mentioned, he has the most All NBA selections, or tied for the most, right? He has the most of all these things, all these selections, all these awards that weren't available for Bill. We're using Bill Russell, right, for what, 5 MVPs, his defensive impact, but he doesn't have half the stuff that we're judging other players on.
We don't need to measure those things if they don't have
Why?
it. It doesn't matter. Why would
Okay,
we?
so
It
what are
doesn't
you using
affect
then?
their career. It doesn't what his impact was in his era. Wilt Chamberlain was the most dominant player we've seen since Shaq. None of that he didn't have recorded doesn't take away how dominant he was. Bill Russell is the greatest winner we have ever seen. That doesn't take away anything from Bill Russell because he didn't have all defensive teams and defensive player of the years.
Okay,
He
so
was still
where do you put Bill
the
Russell then? And
greatest.
like you said, what are you using to elevate him over these players besides his rings?
I'm gonna use him to elevate over Hakeem Olajuwon. That's what I'm gonna do.
So I mean, that's the question.
I'm gonna elevate
You're,
his ass right over Hakeem. That's what I'm gonna
so
do.
with Bill Russell, you're literally just using MVPs and like his rings, right? That's all you're using because there's no
I'm
finals
gonna
MVP.
use some things that I'm gonna help you learn about why he's better than Hakeem Olajuwon, which you already
Okay,
know
all
that
right, go
he's
ahead. Yeah.
above Hakeem. You
I
already
think
know
he's
that.
better.
So
I think he's a better defender than Hakeem. Obviously, Hakeem had more responsibility offensively. I think he had a better career than Hakeem, obviously,
he
and I think
he
that
had
Bill
a better
Russell would be
career.
the goat if all things were equal.
I think Will and Russell had better careers than Hakeem Olajuwon.
Well, Bill Russell had a better career than everyone then.
Definitely better than Hakeem Olajuwon. Definitely.
Okay, sure, but again, not ranking
I
him because
think
it's not fair
Dr.
to
J
anybody.
had a better career than Hakeem Olajuwon.
No. Well, hey,
Yes.
you'll be able to prove all this
I mean, it's
next
easy to
week.
prove.
Hey,
It's easy
next
to
week
prove.
I need everybody to show up and watch this debate because I want to know if y'all believe if Akeem belong in the top 10 or not. I got somebody ask me about my top 10. Do you got Akeem in your top 10? Do you got Russell in your top 10? And if you do got Akeem in your top 10, what order do you have him in?
Oh yes. And like I said, but here's the thing, and also, I'm gonna give you my top 10 before the show starts, and then I want your top 10 as well, so I can argue where Hakeem belongs in place of some of those players.
Who you talking about, John or me?
Now, you talking
No,
about
no, no,
you.
you.
Why would you need my top 10? Like Travis,
Because
stick to what you agreed to. You say Hakeem was a top 10 player. You're gonna prove that he's a top 10
he
player. I'm gonna prove
is,
that he's not.
but that means if
Simple
I
as
have
that.
your
You
top
don't need
10,
my top 10. You don't
yes,
need
I
my
do.
top 10 at all.
If I have your top 10, then I
Don't
can
worry.
argue.
You're not getting my top 10 because that's not what we
How convenient
discussed.
for you.
How convenient. Yes, very convenient.
So I just,
I'm not about to help you, Travis.
it's ridiculous because if
I'm
no
not
matter what
about
I
to
say,
help you.
you're just gonna be like, oh hey, no, I have this player or this player. This is why your
No,
argument doesn't make
I'm
sense.
going to prove why 10 players are greater than Hakeem
What 10
Olajuwon.
players?
Simple as that.
What 10 players? I'll give you mine right now.
You can give me your 10 players if you
I
want.
don't.
You're
I
not
don't
getting
think that's
mine.
a. I don't think that's a ridiculous ask. I mean, if we're debating specifically why he's in the top 10, he has to be compared to if he's not in
Travis,
your top 10,
do your
right?
homework. I don't care who you say. I could make LeBron James the greatest player of all time.
Oh, here we go.
I don't need no one's argument. I don't need it.
Hey, Billy King Rich,
Okay.
King Bro said, your top 10 is bullshit.
I mean, everyone's top 10 almost the same, minus a player.
Yeah.
So, I ain't know
It
that.
Is it though?
I
It's
mean,
basically it is.
maybe two, but everyone's always the same. It's just the order.
I have Steph in my top 10.
So do I.
I mean, Steph's greater than Hakeem Olajuwon by far.
Oh God, the slander.
And just so we can be clear, I said I have Hakeem at 10. I have Steph at 9. It just helps his argument.
I have Steph at 10.
I mean, John don't even feel comfortable having Hakeem as 10. He's just doing it because he grew up in the 90s. That's all. That's the only reason. He grew up in the 90s. That's all he has it.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'm only a year older than a Johnny.
well, this is gonna rock then because we have unlimited freedom then to say whatever we want, and I'm gonna come up with a far better argument than you. I can already
I'll
feel
tell
it.
y'all
Travis,
this.
you seem kind of nervous, Travis.
No, I'm not nervous.
This conversation seems like it's gonna be classic, man. It may knock Hakeem out my top 10 and put.
Oh yeah, it will be.
No, John, I'll make sure you elevate him. Don't worry about it.
It will be.
Because I
Yes,
told
sir.
you did such a great job with Kobe. Hey, that's what. Remember, I came on and I said I apologize to the NBA world. I was okay because Kobe is top 10, and I apologize to Kobe because he always belonged there.
I already said it's hard to keep Kobe out the top 5. It's hard to keep him out the top 5. You have to literally put people in the head by making up stuff to keep him out the top 5.
MJ, Will, Bill.
And with Travis having Hakeem is top 5, he got to make up a lot of shit.
Nope. No need to make up anything.
Anytime I see top 10s like King's speech, I always ask what puts MJ at 1 and Will and Russell
King's
at
speech
2, 3.
he has Shaq above it. I'm about to say like how he has the King over Shaq, but I get it. He has Shaq over the King.
No,
MJ, Wilt, Bill, Kareem, Magic, Bird.
I just
Kobe.
love what put MJ in front of Will and Bill. That's why I understand when people say I put Will and Bill in their own category.
See, LeBron at 9 is just asinine. That means that you're.
King's speech has LeBron at 1. So
He has him at 1. He has him at 1. It's fine. He has him at 1. We all know he did 2 criterias, and both of them came out LeBron number 1. So don't even let him come up here and act like he don't have LeBron. His standard of basketball is LeBron James.
See, that's what I hate though, is like when, like, obviously, no matter what we say or we've been saying, we don't have even, I think we all admit this, right? Nobody on this show, no matter what, we'd never have takes that go in the direction of LeBron at 9. No matter what we say, we're all grounded in some type of reality, right? Where there's no world where you can say that Magic Johnson had a better career than LeBron James by any stretch, or Larry Bird. Like, what are you smoking in any way? Even if you hate the guy and you just lined them up, you didn't know who it was, you lined them up, you would pick LeBron 10 times out of 10. Looking at resumes.
His criteria. What I'm finding out, people's criteria is to try to keep LeBron out of the top 5.
Ridiculous.
That's what people are doing. If you don't believe me, just listen to them. That's why I sit here and said I let people talk. Let people talk. Sometimes they'll tell you everything you need to know. His criteria is to keep LeBron out of the top 5. You can't tell me moments, your big moments, and then say Kobe has bigger moments than LeBron. How do you have that conversation?
You don't. I mean, I won't have a conversation with someone who has them that low, unless because there's no criteria that you can make that's even mildly passable that agrees with you. I mean, I even thought it was a stretch to have him at 3 at one point. Now I have him as the GOAT, but it's just unmitigated hate for a player.
I just want to say something to it. I need to say something to it, Johnny, before we can leave the show today.
Yeah.
The year after the Miami Heat won the championship, does anybody know who beat Miami the next year in the playoffs? I just checking. Does anybody know who beat the Miami Heat in the playoffs the next year?
Didn't they sweep them, right?
They swept them too.
Yeah,
they swept them like y'all was the champions the year before. Serious? Are you free?
I mean, I guess John got to take a win when he can, since he's a Bears fan.
No.
Since he's a Bears fan, he had to take that little win.
Yes, I do, because we don't talk. I mean, the Dolphins has never won the Super Bowl. I mean,
Johnny's a 49ers fan, apparently.
Yeah, he was a
But
49ers fan.
I don't think he know anybody on the 49ers today, but I think he just says that. He just says that he's a 49ers
They
fan.
overpaid Brock Purdy. We know that.
I apologize.
Because of what Joe Montana did.
I apologize. The Dolphins did win one Super Bowl, didn't they? When they went undefeated.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, John. We did. It was a long
He's
time
not a
ago.
Dolphins fan, though. Yeah, in the 70s. Yeah.
I wasn't born yet, but I mean.
So we believe. What do you want this format to be? Just one monologue from each of us, or rounds?
I don't know. It depends on what you want to do. Like I'm a group players in order. I'll probably just start with some players, and I'll have you debate why Hakeem's better than them. Because we already know, like, at least 5 players he's not going to be better than. So we don't need to debate LeBron, Jordan, Kareem, players like that, Duncan. Like, we don't need to debate those players.
I mean, I could beat Hakeem versus Duncan. I could do that. It's tough.
I mean, don't try, Travis. Don't try.
Oh.
Don't.
Really depends. I mean, you can't. Obviously, there's resumes which are way too.
Okay. Which players you think we don't have to debate there? Because if you think you're that good, we could debate Duncan.
I mean, that's tough.
Yeah,
that's a tough one.
We already know LeBron, Jordan, Kareem, right?
DeMond Jordan, Kareem, yeah, their resumes are untouchable.
Anybody else that you think is untouchable for Hakeem?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring 10 other players there. So it's gonna be 13 players total with those other 3. So I'm gonna bring 10 other players.
All right.
And you're gonna see how many wins you could get versus those other 10 players. So I guess you need to beat 3 of them.
Well, we can. Okay, so let's do rounds in. So you can do your first group. I mean, so I'll write it up.
You can have your a monologue first if you want, just so you can say how great Hakeem is, and then I'm gonna start with mine.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll set it.
If you want to do that, unless you just want to wait till I go with mine, it's up to you. I don't mind going first.
Well, I said, yeah. Let's just keep it let's keep it
confident. Believe so confident.
I mean, it's simple.
Let's keep it simple. So argue why he's top 10, and then you can explain in whatever rounds you are why there's the players, just so it's not overly complicated. And I'll explain why he is.
Okay, you can go first. How he's top 10. You could spend as much time as you want lying to us, and then I'm gonna throw some players out there.
Okay. Oh, all right. We'll work it out in the week because I still want. Let's do 3 rounds then.
Okay.
Johnny said 3 rounds, 15 minutes.
That's what Travis will. Travis be demanding. I want 12 rounds, 35 minutes each.
Damn.
Hey, when he said 4 rounds, 5 minutes, I said, remember, I said, damn, my debate skills ain't 5 minutes.
Lamont was like, damn, it's gonna be that long.
Bro, Lamont lived into that like a dog, and he was like, oh, I don't know why I'm even here.
Oh boy, that shit was funny, man.
It was funny though. Travis wasn't playing. Travis like, nope. We want 7 rounds, 10 minutes. You're gonna do it. I don't got time for your shit, Lamont. We're gonna do it.
I just needed to get that out.
No, I think
Poor
you need
Kobe.
to get it out for other reasons. I think people ain't been respecting Kobe who say they respect Kobe. I believe
Exactly.
the
Exactly.
argument around Kobe, people ain't been giving him the proper respect that he deserves. And it's like, if you're going to debate for Kobe, please put it out there correctly.
Exactly. And like, it's not. I don't think that the T Mac take is the worst thing I've ever heard. Like, that's fine. But like, the real slander comes when you have people saying that Kobe isn't top 10 or 15. You know, stuff like that. That's insanity.
Hey,
Right.
I say this: if somebody is a Knicks fan and they tell you Kobe isn't top 10 and they wasn't born before 1975, don't believe anything they say. Okay, they don't even know what winning is.
That's true.
So,
And I'll be on the webcam next week with my GJK merch and everything. Let's do it.
hey,
Sure.
I want a, I want a white one.
I want a red one. Give me like red and
Red
black.
one and a white one would be G.
It would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Give me red and black.
Hey, I said that because Brandon was standing right there, so he heard everything I just said.
Talking about the red crap.
King John wants smoke. King's speech says that.
I told you you didn't like basketball because of the way you like to argue.
What is he complaining about now?
He's
He's
complaining about something.
now?
He looks for something for everything.
Yeah, I didn't look at what he's complaining about. I think he's been talking about Chat GPT because they keep saying that he's a big fan of LeBron. I mean, your criteria is LeBron James criteria. If you're a LeBron James fan, you will make a criteria to make LeBron James the GOAT. And that's what he does.
At King's Speech, I was born in 1980. And since I was born, the Bears has won the Super Bowl. The Bulls has won the finals. The Cubs has won the championship. The White Sox has won the championship. The Sky won the championship. And the Blackhawks. I don't know anything but winning.
That's true. Oh, he says you're scared to give your list, Billy. No.
So as a New York Knicks fan, King's Speech, I know the Yankees won. I'll wait. The Jets, they won.
The Jets won in the 60s or something.
Yeah, I wasn't born.
Okay. But the Knicks won in the early 70s.
72.
The Mets never won. They got a hockey team.
The Rangers. I think the Rangers won.
When did the Mets win something?
And the Giants. Yeah, the Giants. You're right. The Giants, Yankees.
Oh yeah, the Giants because of the Hall of Fame QB Eli Manning.
What year did the Mets win? I didn't think the Mets won. So what year did the Mets win? 86. Okay. Yeah, damn. I so long ago I don't remember. So. So I mean, y'all got a few. Just every major team here has won in my lifetime. Every team. And the Sky is just a new team. Our MLS team won too, so just want to be clear. I know nothing else but championships. Yeah, the Bears 85. Don't talk about the Bears because B. Lee just gonna go off on the Bears. Okay.
I'm so tired of the Bears.
Because Caleb Williams is gonna have an MVP type season this year. I'm telling you, he's throwing for 4,000 yards and like 38.
Oh, God, should we drop the link for King Rowe?
I mean, just let him come because he has a lot of complaining to do.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
I don't even know what he's complaining about.
Hey, King Rowe, I'm so serious. I need you. I heard you got a show. What's your show on? I just want to be able to watch your show. I just want to hear you speak on your own without people interrupting you.
John, he wants me to debate him tomorrow on his show.
About what?
I'm probably going to change it, but he said, "What is the best team to never win a title?" And he picked the '91 Lakers. And so I was leaning toward.
Chicago got the
Just
best
do
team.
it the 16 Golden State Warriors.
I mean, either the 16 Warriors, or I was probably going to pick like.
Chicago got the best pizza, best guy roll, best hot dog,
Maybe the
best
87, 80, 84, 87 Celtics, something like that.
I mean, acting like we not title town is crazy, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. The Liberty just won, you know, so I witnessed that.
Who's the
You
Liberty?
know what I mean?
Oh, WNBA
I
trash.
mean,
I got
WNBA trash. Okay, I mean, it is what it is, all right. I got 5 Duke championships. I'm a Duke fan, so I got 5 of those. I lived in the state of North Carolina,
First,
so
we got to start with what year was you born?
say again.
What year were you born?
79 before you.
Okay, yeah, the year
All right.
before me. So I just said in my lifetime, I was born in 80.
And the Bears is the only thing that matters in Chicago. Because let's keep it real. Outside of Chicago, other than the Rose years, y'all don't care about the Bulls. Come on now. What y'all doing now? What the Bulls are doing now?
Because what a lot of people don't
John?
know.
John don't care about the Bulls?
Nah, you know.
John's an asshole. He loves the Bulls.
He would sit there talking about the GOAT the way he does if he did.
What do I say?
What's that supposed to be? He's still a Chicago Blackhawks fan.
Yeah,
Okay. I mean, you know.
About the GOAT. The GOAT is LeBron. But
I do not agree with
LeBron
John.
kids don't even believe that. But you know, we can go.
Though.
You know, I know your chat about to tear me up because this is Bizarro world. But look, as I said, look, we keep it light. We keep it light. The way y'all went crazy because Travis got Hakeem in his top 5. Again, it's not like I said this when Travis came to my show. And by the way, my show is 10 toes down. We come on Tuesday and Thursday. Johnny is took the invite to call in on Tuesday. So Johnny should pull up. He's a man of his word. He actually pulled up last Tuesday, the Tuesday before last week when I was in Orlando. I invited Lamont to come on Thursday. He actually called in on Thursday. So, you know, picking up a little steam. So I do my show. We talk a little bit deeper stuff. You know, I try to keep it topical. I don't just do the. I mean, really, I think we spend too much on the GOAT list because, again, at the end of the day, bro, like I told Travis, if my GOAT is Jordan, I got him in 99. And let's just say I did have LeBron at number 2. I don't, but I do. But, you know, I don't, but, you know, he would be what, 97, 96, 98? Like if we talk about 2K ratings. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not like 1 and 10 is like a goddamn major gap. And so people prefer what they prefer. Hakeem being the impactful defender, to me, he's one of the most 2 impactful. Let's keep it real. I don't have a chip because he got around a pick and rolls perfectly set by Ewing that blocked John Starks 3 at the end of game 6. John Starks was wide open. He covered about 10 feet on that pick and roll. That's how good of a defender Hakeem was. Again, when you go back and look at Russell leaping over dudes to block dudes. Go ahead.
What's the name of your YouTube?
The 10 Toes Down podcast. Come on my channel at King's Peace Road. Give me a follow, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I come over here. I drop the link. People can pull up. You know what I'm saying? I try to keep it topical. You know, I come on with a topic that I just, bro, the news cycle is being fed, so there's always something to talk about. All summer we gonna have shit to talk about. You know, like last week I talked about the draft and free agent preview, and then Lamont called in, and we had a good conversation.
What do you want the to look like King's Speech tomorrow? Like rounds or like?
I'm gonna see because I CW and what's her name, Big Nines, they did a debate. I'm gonna see how they did it, and I would try to do something similar, just so we can. I don't know if they were talking back and forth rounds, like, you know. I don't know if it was, you know, some people have a.
Yeah, see if we can get some judges up in there. Or did we lose him? He's dead. But yeah, that'll be fun.
It's called 10 Toes Down Podcast. This you with the C hat on?
I looked for it the other day, John, and I couldn't find it. I think
Yeah.
he sent me the link. I think I could throw it to you or whatever, or he can whatever. He can shoot it to you during face. Oh, he's gone.
Yeah,
I'll see if I can. If he doesn't respond, you just let me know. I think I got it in my chat log.
Yeah, because I mean, I like listening. I just listen to so much. I listen to so much people talk about sports, and it just don't seem the same.
Yeah, I don't know how I dropped off. I got immaculate internet, so I don't know what happened. But yeah, no, I was saying we could talk about, we could do teams. Like I challenge you to pick a team, and I'm picking, and you already know who I'm picking, the '91 Lakers, and the only qualification is they must not have won. They're not a championship team, or a team that was either finalists.
Yeah, so like in the finals but lost, right? And speech is King's dead.
Now I'm right here. I don't know what's going on, man.
Did you say okay? So
6G
they
internet,
had to be
man.
in the. Did you say Western or conference finals or finals and lost?
It's going in and out, literally.
Can y'all hear me?
Now we can.
Go in and out.
Yeah, I don't know what some bullet. That's 6G internet. I don't know what's going on, man. All right, but anyway, yeah. No, I don't know how much of that you heard, but I said, yeah. I challenge T Perfect to do a debate tomorrow on. I'm picking the '91 Lakers, and he can pick any team that didn't win the championship, and we're gonna put them in a hypothetical.
So like the team had to be in the finals, though, right?
Say again.
The team had to be in the finals.
I found this page. It's called it's called GoCast Podcast.
Yeah, the GoCast Podcast, and the GoCast Podcast. That's what we're gonna do it on.
I'll message you King's Speech because I didn't hear if you responded to that or not.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Why I keep bouncing out. I don't know if it's the browser. Usually I go in a different browser, but
it's a New York Knicks thing.
Thunder and 7.
Don't worry about the King's Speech. It's a Knicks thing. It's all good.
Hold on.
You guys, they're about to be wilding with their new mayor. Hopefully not. Shit, man. New York is some kind of place. Anyway.
Yeah, when I refresh it, it fixes the problem. So hopefully it does. If it does it again, then But yeah, like I don't know how much of that you caught.
None of it.
Wow. Okay. So the team could be the finals team or conference final team. Like So I mean, any team you want from history.
Okay.
So pick your favorite. Not they had to be a runner-up or conference final team. Like I said, it was some great teams.
And you picked the '91 Lakers, man.
I picked the '91 Lakers just because I want to prove to you that Magic was that dude. You shit on Magic a lot.
I don't shit on him. I
remember when you came on my show, you said that Stockton was pretty much. You said that Magic had a Kareem, and that's why he had the success he had. And I said Stockton had Malone the whole time. But so I'm gonna pick the one team that got to the finals that didn't have no Kareem. You know what I mean? And you could pick whoever you want. I'm not this Stockton team, but I just want to prove to you that Magic was that dude.
Well, I think you could drop any top 10 player of all time into a lot of teams and then get to the finals, right?
Yeah, of course. But it's got to be an actual team. Like, so again, I got the '91 Lakers, and with Worthy, Divock, Scott, and them. And you can pick whatever your team. And like I said, we got to convince the audience that our team will win the 7-game series.
Hey, King, speak that '91 Lakers team. Can you tell me who they lost to?
They lost to Chicago Bulls.
Okay, I'll just check it.
Of course. I mean, because Jordan is the GOAT. That's why. Jordan, his first time, beat a team with, basically Magic had 5, Worthy had 3, AC Green had a couple, Scott had 3.
You want to know where the parade was at? It's called Grant Park.
Okay, cool. Don't worry.
Was that when Mike had the...
Look, because I saw 4 Giants parades down the Canyon of Heroes. I'm just saying. Are you a 5 when the Bears won with McMahon and Singletary and all of that?
Yeah, I was 5.
Okay, so you know no football champion and
I
football.
definitely was 5 because my birthday is in January, so early
Okay,
January. I was
okay,
definitely.
cool. I mean, I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot down. It's been a while now. I ain't going front. It's been a while, but I've seen a lot down the Canyon of Heroes. It's a great time, man.
I mean, my
That OKC parade was woo.
My
That
teenage
was
years
crazy.
I was 11 years old. I like my teenage years from 11 to 18, which is great. I mean, because when I was 11, the Bulls won their first championship. When I was 18, they won a sixth championship. It was just great. I mean,
I get it. I mean, Jordan spoiled you guys. I mean, let's
like-
keep it real.
like growing up, you know, we in AAU.
He sold a lot of Gatorade.
When we went other places to play other teams, especially like New York teams, it was just like, why y'all talking to us? I mean, we don't even know how to lose in New York. Like,
Stop it, sir. Stop it. The Cubs ain't win for 100 fucking years and then they needed somebody to pick the ball.
Do you guys
out
even claim the Jets anymore? Yeah.
Bro, yeah. I mean, I'm not a Jets fan. I'm a Giants fan. I mean, I give Jets fans a lot of credit, man.
The Giants are gonna be trash too this year.
But the Jets and the Giants not even in New York, so I mean,
That's true. They're in Jersey.
Come on, bro. It takes 15 minutes to drive to Meadowlands from Manhattan. Literally 15 minutes.
Hey, King Speech, how much are you parlaying on Russell Wilson getting injured in the first 4 games this year?
So see if we got a line, man. See if we got a line. I got one. Once I see preseason, you know. I mean, obviously we missing Barkley, bro. But you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta let your star go to really rebuild. You know, we got
you gotta let him go to be like a runner-up MVP with like his best season on the champs.
It happens. I mean, he would have never had that year because our line wasn't ready yet. So another year with this line, we go, you know, hopefully Abdul Carter with Thibodeau on the other side. We get a little bit of that Strahan and Tuck and the Magic back. You know, we might look. See, in football, you actually have a chance. In the NBA, especially when Jordan was selling all that Gatorade and all them Hanes and whatever else he was selling, you know, that was, you know, he got recall and spending it always in the playoff.
I was just happy that Mike was able to go against trash Magic in his first finals. I mean, turned in arguably the best fun.
I know we can't hear you right now, but I remember in '93 when the Knicks were up 2-0 on the Bulls, and then we went to cook them from that point on. Y'all didn't win another game. I mean, it's just in order for the Knicks to beat the Bulls, it happened in '94. They actually literally had to cheat, like everybody knows it was literally a bad call. Even Knicks fans said it.
John, I'm surprised you don't have Mike as the GOAT when you're from Chicago and you were there witness.
No, I got to see him, so I just think LeBron's a better basketball player. When I see them both playing basketball, I think LeBron is better at basketball. That's it.
That's fair.
That's it.
I do as well. I think LeBron's better all around, but it's close.
And Jordan didn't disappoint for the most part. And then he retired 2 weeks before training camp.
To me, yeah, it was just like kind of a realization to me. Like it's just so tough because Jordan crammed all this greatness into 11, which is fantastic. But when someone's been at or near the top of the league, like in production, right, for as many years as LeBron has, to me, it's just you can't just ignore it anymore. Because remember how easily in the past we used to muse about dudes who played 20 years or whatever, and they were just, you know, had-beens, right? Like we didn't really take them seriously, like the Carters and the, you know, McHale or the Parishes and the AC Green, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like It wasn't until LeBron, it wasn't until LeBron came that we were like kind of had to redefine not even the word longevity, but just consistency, right?
It's a new standard. It's a brand new standard that you can't tell me now that you're not a good player because you're in year 17, 18, and 19 anymore. Because we've seen it. If you do the proper work and do what you're supposed to do, you can play that long. And it used to be just jump shooters who really played jump shooters and big men. So
Yeah.
Well, I mean, don't you think that players coming in early?
I did talk to one of my doctor at my job. He loves talking to me about this GOAT debate. So I was just asking him like why do you have Jordan over LeBron? And his thing was I have never seen no one play like Jordan. When he grew up watching Jordan, and he just never seen no one dominate like Michael Jordan. And I was asking him like, so have you really seen LeBron James play? He said LeBron James just don't. I don't have interest in seeing LeBron James play. So a lot of people who say Michael Jordan is the greatest, they just don't really care to watch LeBron James play. They don't really know his history.
And that's not a real basketball fan.
Have a lot to go up. Most Jordan fans are not real basketball fans. But
you can't pinpoint a single fan base like that. I mean, people got their preferences. Y'all niggas like end of the day when it comes to Jordan and LeBron, is either you rolling with peak dominance or you go roll with his own.
If you all roll with peak dominance, it's LeBron James too.
That's really the conversation. When it be between them two, what's your preference? Jordan got the peak dominance over LeBron. But LeBron
no, he don't. He don't have peak over LeBron.
Yes, he do got peak over LeBron.
No, you don't have peak over LeBron.
This year we saw a team win 82 games, right? 84 games actually.
Yeah, you guys want to talk about a quote unquote debate that I actually think that I lost, or not even lost, but I was maybe incorrect, was when Brandon and Johnny actually educated me about how LeBron's peak was slightly better than Mike's, especially as far as multiple MVP wins in the same time period. It's tough to argue that.
I mean, I think most people, when they think of Michael Jordan's peak, they misconstrue what Michael Jordan's peak was, and they try to downplay what LeBron James' peak was. So, Herm, when you're talking about it's not close, what peak are you talking about for Michael Jordan?
Really for me, it's honestly how I look at peak is probably slightly different than how a lot of people view it anyway. I look at to me the peak. I look at it as a 10-year stretch to me, and when I look at
10-year stretch,
when I look at Jordan's 10-year stretch for 88 to 98, that peak, LeBron can't top it.
There you go.
So in your mind, a peak is 10 years.
Yeah, because anybody can have one great year or a couple of great years.
That's usually what peak is. It's like the top.
But Jordan
in 1988 and Jordan in 1998, two completely different players. So that doesn't really make any sense to have a peak like that when two players are drastically different.
I said peak.
That makes it even better. That makes it even better because he had to change.
No one's saying no one's saying that he wasn't great for those 10 years. But when you're talking about peak means the highest.
He was at the highest.
Again.
So he's at the highest in 19.
Individual stats from 88 to 91.
That's why I say when you guys talk about peak, you misconstrue what peak means.
If he won the MVP in 98,
I'm just saying Michael Jordan in 1993 is a better basketball player than 1988 and 1998. He was just a better basketball player.
Okay.
That's what Michael Jordan has highest, 92, 93. Michael Jordan at his highest was right there. Those other years, Michael Jordan was not
longer than LeBron.
I'm just saying, like, that was not better than.
Like you can't evolve doing.
I'm saying that's fine. That's fine. But when you talk about peak, the definition of peak is at the highest point. Michael Jordan was not at his highest point in 98 or 1988. He was not at his highest point.
But he was an MVP. That means he still was best in the league.
Okay, Michael Jordan was not at his highest point in 1998 or 1988. He just was not.
So we qualifying now to I mean, he let
I'm
he
just
let him
looking
see
at
without a second best player.
definition of peak. That's what I'm looking at, the definition of peak. And if Michael Jordan at his highest in 1988, that's fine.
I mean, if
But
you're talking
are you saying
statistically, he probably was.
Yeah,
are you
that's
saying that Michael
statistically.
Jordan? Are you saying that Michael Jordan in 1988 was a better basketball player than Michael Jordan in 1992? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean,
Physically, he probably was better. He probably physically
So
had more in the tank.
1988, Michael Jordan's at his best. Okay, Herm, what year was Michael Jordan at his best?
I'm not going down the rabbit hole because I'm sticking to what I'm
I
sticking.
see that.
No, I'm
So
not
I'm the
talking about. I'm
nigga.
just
I'm
saying,
stick
what
to
year
what
was
I'm
he at his
stick
best? Like
I'm gonna
you
stick to
don't
what
know
I'm
what
stick
year
to.
Michael
I'm
Jordan
not
was at his
going down
best.
what you want me to go down.
I mean, saying
Okay,
you don't know what year Michael Jordan at his best. King Speech said 1988, but you don't know when Michael Jordan was at his best because you never watched Michael Jordan. So it's hard to say when
You
Michael
can't
Jordan's at
tell
his
me
best.
shit what I did, nigga.
I'm just
You
saying
tell
it's
me
hard to
motherfucking
say
ass.
when you never watched him play when Michael Jordan's at his best. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's hard. It's hard to know. It's really hard to know.
what are we
Yeah, that's
doing
hard
here
to
though?
know.
Hold on, let me
Okay,
fill
I'm
what
this.
just
was
saying.
LeBron
I'm
at his
just,
best? Let's
Me
compare
on
that.
it's hard to
what my
know.
beliefs is.
It's hard to
Trying to
know.
make me go into what you believe.
Okay,
What you
okay.
believe is
No,
what you
it's
believe.
fine. You don't have to say
That's cool,
anything.
nigga. You believe what you
Me
believe.
and King's Speech could talk about this because he said Michael Jordan was at his best in 1988, and I'm going to tell you
So why are we talking 1 year though? Give me
that's his
5 years.
highest. That's his highest. You
Let's
said
go
peak.
5
That's his
years.
highest.
A peak. If you talking
I
about
don't
peak,
talk about 1 year because it's easy to have a
No,
exactly.
you
fluke
said
year.
peak. I didn't
It's
say
easy
peak.
to
You
have a
said
fluke
peak.
year.
You said peak.
Nah,
I didn't say peak.
a peak B League has to be more than 1 year because look at Jokic.
It could be more than 1 year, but you said his highest.
I mean, there's always going to be a
I
certain
agree
year.
with Herm is 88 to 98 because again he didn't fall off. I think once you
He
start,
fell off a lot in 1988 to 1998. They were two completely different basketball players. Two completely different
but he
basketball
still
players.
was the best player in the league.
There were two. Those are two different Michael Jordans. They're not even the same.
We agree, but he's still the
So
same
it
way.
don't matter.
It's a different LeBron today.
I mean, no one says LeBron at his peak. Come on now. Like Herm said, okay, 5. He said 5 years. Somebody said 5 years. Michael Jordan, you could say 5 years is a good peak, but 10 years when there's two completely different players. I mean, 1989 to
and both dominant.
93, 88 to 93, whatever. Like that's okay. That's fine.
You
Like
leave
they were
you leave the
similar,
key word out.
but 88 to 98,
See,
that's
You leave
completely different.
dominance out, man.
See, that's my
That's
thing. This
completely
is why
different. I'm
Jordan
not
is the
saying he
GOAT.
wasn't dominance. I'm not
From
saying he wasn't
88 to
dominant.
98, I think he was the greatest
I'm
player
not
in the
saying
world.
everyone believes that. Everyone believes that, but those are two different players in the 88 and 98.
But that's cool.
So how
That
can
to
they be at
reinvent yourself and
his
still
peak?
be the best makes it even more impressive. To
I
become
mean,
more of a jump shooter,
The word
less
was
of a guy that dunks on everybody's
word
head.
is peak.
Well,
you're talking about peak. You're talking about at the
Yeah.
highest. That's what
Well,
I'm
so
saying.
is LeBron James, B League, because he's been two completely different players for like the last 9 years now.
I'm
I mean,
not
as far
saying
as his
LeBron was
style.
at his peak today. I'm not never once said that in my life. 19 and after 20 years, he's still at his peak. No,
So
LeBron's not
then
at
we
his
could
peak.
then, at some point then you take the two players at their peak, then you take them even on the fall off in their worst, supposedly worst years, and then you can compare the whole careers.
I don't even know what that's supposed to mean, but
Yeah, it
Hold on,
does.
let me fill
It
this
answers
question.
quite easily.
that don't even make any
Quite easily.
sense.
Let me
See,
fill
that's
this
what I'm
question
saying.
really
That's why
fast.
y'all
Worst
can't.
years and complain.
That's why y'all can't understand why I have LeBron where I have him. When again, it's not a diss.
Your criteria has LeBron as a GOAT because you don't understand.
Yeah, I
why
know
you have
because
him
you
there.
you still don't. Y'all still don't see my whole
You
criteria.
don't understand. That's your problem. You don't understand.
Jordan has never lost with an
How
All-Star.
can we understand
Jordan,
if you don't
LeBron has
understand?
lost with several All-Stars.
I mean, how can you understand? How can we understand you when you don't understand yourself?
I completely understand. I understand that.
You have LeBron James as the greatest player of all time,
ChatGPT
but
is
you want
full
to
of
put him at
shit.
number 8. So
I put it in my
Let me-
own, and I have him at 3. Then I
Let me fill
reminded
this-
him how he lost with a wing of 75 players, didn't even make the playoffs, and then it put him at 7. Okay, so there we go.
Here, let me fill this question real fast here from Adrian Knight. Hey, Adrian Knight, how could I justify the 6 finals losses? I mean, the same way I can justify Mike not winning 9 of the years that he was playing, right? Like by that logic, you're saying that he was what, like
And
6 and 9?
LeBron lost in double the years. So if we're gonna do that,
Yeah,
see the
so
rabbit hole you go through.
You look at the production. Like LeBron averages what, like 28, 10, and 7 in the finals.
Okay, and the
Like
years that he didn't win, that's what we're trying to say.
No, and so it's
So
better
he's
to make it to the. It's better to make it and lose in the final round.
No,
than
you're
not
right.
make
I
it at
don't
all.
do force. I don't fault LeBron for losing 6 finals. Obviously, I'd rather lose in the finals than losing the conference finals the second round. I get that part. But then 2 of those losses are the 2 biggest losses in NBA history in finals. 79 finals are played. LeBron has been on the losing end of the 2 worst.
How's that 2 of the biggest losses in finals?
The point on that point differential. 14 and 18. The 2, and mind you, one of them was to an old Spurs team.
14
Tim Duncan was 38
and 18 when LeBron James was the best player in both series.
Was he the best? No, Kevin Durant was the best. Who won MVP?
Yeah, LeBron was the best player in both
Kevin
series.
Durant was better than him in 18. Let's keep it real.
LeBron quit after MVP do not make you a better player.
Overtime to the rest of that series.
Winning MVP do not make you a better player. So that don't make sense.
Never in that time period was better than LeBron.
Winning the MVP do not make you a better player.
Yeah, he was. If you're 8-1 against a guy,
hold up. King speech. Who was the best player in 1993 in the NBA?
Mike.
All right, then be quiet.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the problem?
Barkley won MVP.
Okay, and then he beat Barkley in the finals. I could give Barkley that 1 year if Barkley won the finals.
You don't agree with what you're saying. You don't.
I don't agree. He outplayed him in the most important game.
Not McCain Rowe.
Okay, hold on. Okay, all right. When did Michael Jordan become the best player in the NBA?
I say 88. And he had that crown in 98.
Who was the finals MVP in 1988?
James Worthy.
The finals MVP was it Worthy? No, it wasn't Worthy.
You don't agree that being MVP makes you a better player in the finals are in the
see again, league MVP.
It doesn't matter.
See again, no. If I win MVP,
you don't understand that.
If I win MVP against the most important, okay. So then wait a minute. 16, you can't. If 17, you can't give it. It was Harden.
It's all good.
In 17, it was Harden. You want to give Harden the best player in the league? See, I don't do MVP. What I'm saying is, if I get
now you don't do them. Now you don't.
If I get the 2 best players in the world,
been proven wrong.
No, hold on, B-Lee.
Now you don't do it. It's fine.
B-Lee, if I get the 2 best players in the world, I think KD and LeBron are the best 2 best players, right?
I understand. Now you don't do it. It's fine.
He beat him in 17, and that's gentleman's sweep.
I understand.
I know y'all cop to it. He still had Kyrie.
He said finals MVP.
Go ahead and talk. Go. I'm listening.
So KD beat him in 17. Now, if I still want to give it to LeBron, okay, now I got the rematch. You lose a heavyweight fight. And I get it. It's a team sport, but it's you and him. You got your team, he got his team. He beat you the last fight. Now you got a whole new team, a whole new cast for whatever reason. But now you play him again. You fight him again. You get knocked out. You gonna tell me you still the best player in the world? The best fighter in the world? You gotta look at it as like a heavyweight champion type of thing.
So if you lose to a team, you're not better than that player.
And I'm saying you got your team. See, here's my thing, B-Lee. Go ahead.
Now, King Rowe, this is the thing I want you to start doing though. We gotta realize when it comes to conversations like LeBron and Jordan, LeBron is one of the ones like. We can't sit up there nor like he's not one of the ones.
Oh, I give
LeBron is one of the best motherfuckers that ever touched the basketball.
There's no doubt about it. I gave him best player in the world from 11 to 16.
But what I'm basically saying, so at the end of the day, when we do have the conversation between Mike and LeBron, yes, it's gonna be niggas gonna pick at certain things that both of them did or didn't do. So,
11 and 16.
But you can't sit up.
How you the best player in the world without a chip?
But you can't sit up there.
I know.
What did you literally just say?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Herb.
No, I said, first of all, I said Jordan
if you don't have a chip, but you said Michael Jordan is the best player in 1988.
All right, you're right. I didn't give Jordan the best player in the world to 91.
I know. I had to get off Herb because you saying silly shit. First, you said that how can LeBron be better than Kevin Durant when he won? But somehow, I'm pretty sure you think.
Okay, you know what? Hold on. You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. And remember, Magic is my favorite player. I'm debating with Travis tomorrow about Magic. You know why? Because Jordan was considerably better than Magic. He just hadn't proved it yet.
Was he better than Isaiah Thomas?
Yeah, he was. He was.
All right.
Come on.
Which year?
Take a seat.
Which year?
No,
No, but
take a seat. I'm sorry, Herb. Go ahead, Herb.
King Rowe, we got to be real. Even though Kevin Durant was unstoppable, and we understand what Golden State was doing as a team, LeBron still was the best player on the court. We understand that. Now, what I would have preferred LeBron to probably just say make it mano a mano with KD. He probably could have, but still, the Warriors were just too deep at that time. So because of what Kevin Durant did doesn't mean that LeBron wasn't the best on the floor. It's just that they just got outmatched. End of the day, LeBron and Kyrie could only do so much in 2017. There was only so much them two could do. You know what I'm saying? And the only way they was gonna be able to win that series, Kevin Love was going to play like he did in Minnesota for them to have a chance. And unfortunately, he didn't. And he actually played pretty solid. That just shows how great Golden State was. So we can't downplay certain situations and act like because the nigga get this kick for him and his team like he still wasn't the best player on the court. Niggas knew in '88, even though Jordan got his ass kicked, niggas knew in '88 Jordan was the best player in the league. They knew he was coming. They knew eventually he was gonna run shit. Same way with LeBron, they knew that in '07 with LeBron. They knew even though the Spurs kicked his ass, they knew LeBron was coming after that. You know what I'm saying? So it's certain shit we got to stop doing. We got to stop shitting on certain guys in certain situations. Now with the T-Mac thing, the only reason I'm hard on him, it's not about him not winning the chip. It's about, goddamn, we seen niggas make it out the first round somehow. Somehow, some way they get out the first round at least. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only thing that you could put against Tracy McGrady at that time. Like, nigga, at least get out the first round. And your arguments that been brought up the last few days, those arguments could be made valid to a degree if you would have shown the ability to at least do that. But you ain't do that, so that's why there's a lot of pushback, in my opinion, on both sides of the spectrum to me. But it is what it is. People, like I said, people feel one way, people feel another way. It is what it you can't be wrong because it's all hypothetical, so there's no right or wrong to it. Just to be honest.
All right. I'll let you guys get y'all last takes because I'm about to head up out of here.
All right.
You got anything, Travis? Last takes? I know we got our debate next week.
Yep. We
got
do debates
another one
with
tomorrow?
everyone. Hope everyone tunes in for that. It should be a classic.
All right. John, got anything?
Hey, Herm, you want to come and be a judge for this this debate next week?
What time? Yeah, I'll be there. And what y'all debating about, B. Lee and Travis?
Travis is saying that Hakeem's a top 10 player of all time. I'm saying he's not.
That's a good debate. It could go either way, depending on how y'all explain it. It could go either way for sure. Because he is borderline. If niggas do got him top 10, it's
Travis has him top 5.
Yeah. I got him 10.
I think you went too far with that, though. I want to put him on
Hey,
top
Herm,
5.
I got him 10. Herm, I got him 10.
Yeah, he's right. He's right on the borderline. If you got him 10, I don't knock nobody for having him 10 because he was elite on both ends. So that does account for something. But at the same time,
Herm, do you have him top 10?
No, I don't.
All right. Herm, that's my guy. All right.
One more convert
go
for me.
ahead and get what you gotta get out.
Yeah. All right. Just real quick. The only reason I didn't give LeBron the crown in 2010, I gave it to him when he won his ring because Kobe had the crown. If Kobe is winning rings in 2010, now again, I didn't like Kobe, so I wanted LeBron to take it at that point, but he didn't. He's number 2 in the world. After when he won his ring, now he's the number 1 until somebody took it from him. Even in 2014, 2015, I didn't give it to Steph, but I gave it to KD because I felt he was that. But anyway, look, end of the day, tune in to 10 Toes Down podcast. We come on at 9:30. Try to come on between 9 and 9:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Again, we talk deep. We don't just do all this player talk, but we try to kind of mesh everything in to what's going on in the news cycle and kind of segue into a lot of different subjects. So y'all free to pull up, man. Johnny told me he'll be there. He's a man of his word. So again, calling because one of my commenters he called him out by name. So like I said, I told Johnny, yo, y'all got 20 cats. Every time I pull up, y'all got 20 cats killing me. There was one guy killing the Johnny, and the Johnny was like Johnny couldn't keep focused. So dude called him out by name, and he told me. So I'll make sure to set that up. Somebody want to talk to a Johnny to expose him.
But I did think LeBron took over as the best player in the league after the 20. I think he did right at the 2010, right after Kobe got that last ring.
You can say that. I mean, look, 2011 was hard, right?
It was LeBron.
Hey, I got you. 2011 was hard because of the way the finals went.
Even though he lost, LeBron still was the best player in the world in 2011. It's just that niggas were so shocked that they lost to Dallas, though. That's what threw a lot of people off.
That's what it was. You know what I mean? But I mean, look, end of the day, and that's
so Key, you say you got you didn't have LeBron James as the best player, even though he won back-to-back MVPs because he didn't win a title. I do have a question. When did Michael Jordan become the best player in the league again?
You could argue with an 88. Again,
okay,
Magic
lost.
All right.
Magic That's all I want to hear. You're very inconsistent with everything.
You can argue it, as I said. You got to remember, I'm a Magic guy.
I have to remember.
Magic's still a
you
guy.
don't believe the words that's coming out your mouth. But anyway, I will.
All right. Anyway,
next week with our debate, it's been good.
Maybe